Hi, everybody. It's
Hello.
I'm just checking our audio stuff and making sure that people can hear us. It's hi. We're here. It's they came from beneath the sea night. Um,
Yay.
yeah. This is going to be the first of a three-part little mini-series that we've got going on for the Kneon Knights Reunited, our super legally distinct from any 90s or Saban-esque properties that they can definitely not come at us for. Um, Zant, do you want to tell us a little bit more about the system? Can
I
can
do,
I can
yeah.
I hand this off to you?
Oh, I suppose I can carry this burden for a little while. So yeah, this is they came from beneath the system that we are going to be using today is a slightly retooled, slightly reflavored. They came from beneath the sea, which is a cool one by Onyx Path Publishing. It's a modified version of the story path system, which you're probably familiar with if you've played any of the World of Darkness games like Vampire the Masquerade or Scion or something like that. But today we're taking it a little bit of a different direction. Whereas normally they came from beneath the sea as a 1950s, 1960s like genre B horror, uh, uh, picky time. Lots of practical effects and things like that. Today we are going to instead of having it be um, kind of practical effects 1960s zombie attack, we're gonna have practical effects icky today sudden filming of a movie. So yeah, so we are going to be today. The entire session of today will cover the filming of what will be the first of our three-part trilogy. The title of today's film being Kneon Knights Reunited. Kind of, I'll let everybody introduce their character here in just a second. But what the premise is kind of a still somewhat intentionally vague 1990s. Saban Entertainment style product that the actors have all kind of come together through the vestiges, the last bits of their career, or for whatever reason, all of our former actors are going to find themselves. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe so. This is an important thing to note: is that I will be playing a character tonight as well. That I am very excited. The character will be functioning as the director, but will have a role within the film. It's going to be fantastic. This is not really like rules as written they came from, so hang out for a good time, I guess. Um, yeah, so we'll be filming the movie tonight. There will be times where the characters take directorial control, where we have one-liners or quips or tropes that fall into our character, and it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a journey. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there anything that I missed there, Pat? It's kind of
No,
ramble fest.
no, not at all. It's I just needed someone besides me to ramble for once, and you seemed the appropriate choice.
Wonderful. Well, then I guess in that case, how about we do some introductions and stuff. So I guess I'll continue my rambles. I'm Zan. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I am obviously directing this game, and I can be found a whole bunch of places like the Black Feather Guild, the Coffee Nebula, and hear it on my own channel as well. I'll have more info and more stuff to pitch at the end, but who would take the reign next, Pat?
Any volunteers?
Hi, my name is Leland / Leopold the Just. I rarely ever want to go first, but I felt the urge. Who knows why? Anyway, I'm really excited to play this. I love World of Darkness, Chronicles of Darkness, whatever, all that stuff. I love this D10 dice pool system. I'm excited to roll some of my D10s here. Got me a little pile. They all match. I'm playing what's his name? I'm playing Kyle Braun, who plays Bobby Marks. So I'm Kyle Braun playing Bobby Marks today. I use both me and my character use he/him pronouns. I am the Emerald Knight because that's my birthstone and also my favorite color. Coincidentally, I don't know how that happened. So yeah, I'm ready to get neon up in this bitch. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, no, it was fucking perfect. I'm awesome.
Why don't we just keep going around counterclockwise? Typo, you want to go next?
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. I'm Typo. You can find me on various streams such as Polished Cryptid, Friends Who Roll Dice, and Featherfall Tabletop. I am going to be playing. I'm going to be playing Paul Goodman today, who also plays as Aiden Blaze in character. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you are too.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm Pat. I'm a Tetric here in places online. Yeah, and who am I playing? What is my name? I am playing Wyatt Cater, who is playing Cliff Stone, the Amethyst Knight. And Theater Nerd.
I am Theater Nerd. I am playing V, short for Violet Wyatt, the doe-eyed recent college graduate who's never had a role in Hollywood and is suddenly thrust into the limelight, ? And they are playing Zier, or Z for short, because I'm just going to keep it one letter.
Awesome. Zan?
Yeah, so I think without further ado, we can kind of jump into things. So our movie is going to start filming. We'll hear the slow clack, clack, clack of the reels beginning to spin, and the lights dim, and we see the bold headline: Kneon Knights Reunited? ? And in the subtext of this spinning newspaper ad, we see that a few straggling, otherwise completely forgotten and culturally irrelevant stars from the old show Kneon Knights Reunited will be gathering at the first annual Sunnydale Nerd Expo. Just a local con that everything is perfectly fine at. As our camera is going to kind of like pan across, and we're going to see each of our stars in their habitat at this convention, where everyone seems to be mumbling the word rutabaga, unless you're actively like having a conversation with them. And everyone seems very happy and very excited to be there, with very well-defined chins and cheekbones. So I believe that the first one that our camera stops on is going to be over on Typo's character. So one more time, who is the actor that the camera falls on?
The actor is Paul Goodman. Am I just in my casual clothes, or am I in my uniform?
I think that's up to you. Have you already got, like, did you come here kitted up, or are you gonna be like in your old uniform while you're signing autographs? What feels right?
I think right now, I think he is in a sweater vest. It has got like those little like crosses. It's like a brown sweater vest with like little like a cream colored crisscross on it. And his hair is kind of messy right now, and he's just kind of looking around with a pair of little spectacles. Well, it seems that I'm here. Wow, I have to say, I haven't been to one of these things in a long while.
Yeah, and I think as you're doing that, as you're kind of looking around and getting a feel for it, I think that there is a small child that runs up to you and says, Mister, Mister, you were my favorite. You were my favorite night. Can I have your autograph?
Oh,
and hand you a piece of paper.
sure thing, little child. He reaches down, takes the autograph, and starts scribbling something on it, and then he like turns away, smooths his hand through his hair, turns back to the child. For you.
Wow! Thank you so much, Mister. That's really cool. That's
Keep it blazing.
Mom said that I shouldn't blaze, but okay, you are a role model.
Oh, it's always good to inspire the children.
And the child walks away. In retrospect, it might seem a little strange that the paper that the autograph did have a lot of text on it, but your picture was on there. So just maybe feels a little strange.
Yeah, it looked really interesting.
Yeah, so what is something that your character is interested in? Is there like any other industry folks that your character is interested in seeing? Is there any like old folks from the production team that you're interested in? Is there anything that you would like to do before you go and take your place at the autograph signing table?
Well, I would love to meet up with some of my old friends, some of the other actors or something, maybe, or maybe even that one fellow from casting or something, or not casting. What was he? He was one of the characters in the props. It was fun.
So you would of course be referring to Mack Ryder.
Yes, Mack Ryder. That's it.
Yeah. And I think almost on as we hear the narration in your actor's voice of trying to find Mack Ryder, I think we see Mack Ryder approach. And Mack Ryder, I don't have a better descriptor than darkest timeline Jack Black.
Oh no.
That is the image that is in my head, and so that's what we're gonna run with. And looks at you and goes, "Ah, hello, Blaze."
Oh, hello there, Mac. It's good to see you again. It's me. Well, my character name is Blaze, but you know it's me. It's Paul. And like Pow, but with an extra U. Get it? Because you and me, Paul.
You're right. You're right. How could I forget Paul? How could I forget? Okay, great. Delighted to see you here.
Well, I didn't want to hold you up or anything, but I thought about old times, and I decided, well, just as a little thank you gift for all the good times, I got you a pretzel.
And there's a brief moment of like confusion in Paul's face, in not Paul's face, no, in Mac's face as he takes this unexpected gift and looks at you. I have celiacs. How?
Oh, gesundheit.
You knew this. We had discussions about this in production every time because no one ever took me seriously.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. It was complete accident. I didn't mean. I didn't mean.
Paul Goodman. I'll remember this. Max said.
Well, I'll do my best to remember it too, buddy.
Yeah. And walks away.
Well, he seems to be in a good mood today.
Yeah. For your character's sanity's sake, no, Mack Ryder does not have celiacs. This is a conversation that he never had with anyone. It seems as though he was looking for a reason to pick a fight.
I can't believe I've forgotten he has celiacs.
Fantastic. And I think with that, you start to make your way over to the autograph signing table.
Please, for the
Let's
love of all
say-
that's holy, please switch to somebody else.
let's jump over to Pat. So Pat, what can you introduce us to your character or what your character is doing in this little environment?
Sure. Wyatt is intentionally walking through crowded areas of this place just so he can like shove people out of the way. He's not dressed in character for sure. I think part of his quest to redefine himself in recent years has been he released a clothing line that looks like an edgier version of shit that his character would wear. So I think he's sporting a lot of that. And yes, at least looks very hungover. Sunglasses on, hair not quite put together.
Is there a particular spirit that that Wyatt smells of, or is this purely a hangover from the existence?
So, does not smell like a spirit because he's not actually hungover. He just wants to. He's trying to cultivate this bad boy persona, and this is how he's doing it. It's just being rude and looking like he's being out all night partying.
Gosh.
And as you are kind of skulking around, you hear a small voice approach you from behind. Mister, you're my favorite actor. Can I have an autograph, Mister? And you see behind you the same small child.
Is there like no security in this place? What? Who? Are you like a? What?
Oh, just an autograph, Mister.
$20.
Sure thing, Mister.
Damn, I should have gone
Hands
higher.
over $20.
Okay. Who am I making it out to?
Billy MacGuffin.
Okay, Billy. Yeah, I think he's just taken aback that this kid just produced the money so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And just signs it.
This kid had a fat wallet.
I was gonna say, how old is this child?
In that weird age of between 6 and 13 where you don't know how old the actor or the character is.
I was gonna say, like, an age where, like, someone would expect this child to have a wallet that, like, actually has money in it? Or...
It was a Kneon Knights wallet.
Okay, so no. Yeah, I'll sign it.
Cool. And you notice as you sign it that it seems as though the papers have been like folded so that two things are laying over each other and there's a third thing in the middle. I think as you finish it, it kind of moves and you see a big wall of text and the kid goes, well, okay, and scuttles away.
Okay, did anybody...
No.
Did Zan's voice turn into an eldritch being for a second for
Yes.
anybody
I
else,
didn't
or was it
understand
just me?
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
I didn't
did it?
understand it.
Between, like,
Okay.
wall of text and scuttles away was...
And
you were,
in
like,
between the-
channeling something.
Interesting. I wonder if Google heard me. But yeah, so so you notice that like as you start to sign that it looks like it's a really long paper that's been folded in two spots to kind of resemble an A4 size. And as you're finishing your signature, it like shifts the bottom piece a little bit, and we see this giant wall of text. And the kid looks at you in a falsetto voice, you know, kind of runs away again.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that that you'll be doing before you make your way over to the actors table?
I think I'm just taking the long way around, looking for any like reporters or paparazzi just so I can like make myself look more more like out of it than I am, or like more grumpy and upset in front of them. But gradually just heading over there.
Okay, I think as you're walking around, we see like there's kind of a second floor in this expo hall, and they can kind of see onto the first, and we see a familiar figure clad in like a bright like purple and black suit, the darkest timeline, Jack Black, Mack Ryder himself, fabled director, but no one ever remembers how his career started, and he stares down at you. And what is the biggest slight that you are aware of doing to Mack Ryder?
Oh gosh.
Or what is Mack's biggest perceived slight that you have done against him?
I think like as having played the nerdy not Power Ranger, the nerdy Kneon Knight, I think we had like a lab set, and like at one point I actually played around with a bunch of the shit in there and just trashed it. Like for some reason they gave me they put real stuff in as props, and it just set production back quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he was responsible for cleaning up.
Oh yeah, I don't think the fumes ever really came out of like the kaiju suit either.
No.
Yeah, and I think we see Mack Ryder looking over and glaring, and the camera kind of follows his gaze as you walk, and he goes, "Soon, Kneon Knight, I'll have my revenge."
Just for my character's sake, is Mac like a successful director now?
Mac is the shit right now.
I needed to figure...
DVD that comes out has a Mack Ryder extended cut.
Got it. I needed to figure out whether I'd be sucking up to him or treating him like dirt. So thank you.
Good. Yep. And as Pat makes his way back to the table, we're gonna follow over to Leland. Leland, you want to give us a little bit of the lowdown on your character, or what you're doing in this environment?
Well, I'm out in my trailer, and it's just a little shitty little Winnebago that I borrowed from my cousin. They did not provide me with the trailer, so I had to provide my own self with the trailer. Well, I'm out here in the trailer, playing kissy face with my girlfriend. And
Okay.
yeah, playing kissy face. Yeah, I'm just making out with my girlfriend in my trailer.
So by trailer, I assume you mean
it's a little shitty
the car that you
Winnebago.
live in?
Yeah, exactly. It's a shitty Winnebago that I borrowed from my cousin. It looks like he would cook meth in it.
Nice.
Yeah. Not that I would cook meth. It kind of looks like the one in Breaking Bad from the first season.
Yeah. So I think as the action is intensifying, as we kind of hear like low sultry tenor saxophone in the background, that definitely has been like exactly. I think there's a frantic knocking on your door.
Oh, sorry. Wipe the lipstick off my face. Straighten myself out a bit and go and answer it.
Okay. Yeah. So I am. I am almost certain that the other actor that you are getting some time with is in like, oh no, so this is your significant other, right?
Yeah, she could be an actor.
Okay, cool then. So I think that they are definitely in costume.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that they definitely were not wearing a color of makeup that smears off very easily.
Okay, so I've got like some green. Maybe they're an alien, and I've got like some
green or
green,
blue or something, just like all over the
and
face.
I'm out of costume, just wearing my like normal, outfit or whatever, which is probably like, what are those like douchey khaki shorts that like guys that like to go out on boats wear? boat shorts. You know what I'm saying? Those ones. I've got those on, and like my Sperry's, you know, and I got like a button down, like a loose button down blue, like almost like denim shirt that's like rolled up on the sleeves, and I got a watch, you know. And maybe some sunglasses hanging around my neck. I'm trying to look like, you know, the guy I'm talking about when I describe this person.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just making out with an alien. Whatever. The alien can look like whatever you want the alien to look like as the storyteller.
I think that is a far more interesting call for you to make.
All right. It's kind of like a Legally Distinct Twi'lek ripoff. I guess kind of like almost a little bit like that Power Rangers villain, what's her face with like the weird hat. I can't remember her name.
Rita Repulsa?
Yeah. I'm glad you remember. But yeah, no. So yeah, kind of like a blue, kind of like just like a weird like Twi'lek ripoff, like sorceress. You know, she's got like a robe on, and I don't know, and like maybe some like bracers that are like cheesy props. You know.
Great. I think I think with you open the door and you see nothing, and then you look down and you see a small bright-eyed child looking up at you and going,
What in the hell did you just say, kid? I didn't quite understand it. Could you repeat yourself?
I said you're my favorite actor, mister.
Oh, okay. Well then.
And you're supposed to be at the signing table right now, and can you sign this? And I told you that because if you don't, they're gonna make me wear the glass shoes again.
All right. I still really don't much have any damn idea what you're saying, but yeah, I'll sign whatever you want, kid. I'm a little busy right now doing adult stuff, as you see.
Well, they said to tell you that they're going to recast you if you didn't come to the table soon.
Oh shit. All right, sweetie. I will be back later. See you in the film. All right. And I'm just like, shut the door and put my sunglasses on and say, well, let's get to our table then.
Okay.
And the child walks off in the entirely wrong direction and points in the way that you should go.
Before he walks off, can I sign like his forehead? Like,
Definitely.
All right, I just like, here you go, kid. I'll sign something for you, and I just sign his forehead, and then I'm basically like Johnny Cage, you know.
And then like plants their forehead on the on the paper and like leaves the wet ink in there as your signature and goes,
"Thanks so much, mister."
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Look at the.
All right, kid. Maybe get you a lozenge or something. And I'm just gonna go off to the table.
Backwards text is going to be hard to hold up in court, but I don't think the child cares.
Yeah, it's like Forrest Gump. He's like puts his face on makes the smiley face T-shirt. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and how have I pissed off Mack Ryder? Was that the other thing?
Yeah. How have you pissed off? I think
I thought about this earlier.
Let's hear it.
That's his sister. That was just in my her name's Cecilia Ryder.
Okay.
And he's very protective of her, and he thinks I'm a total douchebag because he's probably right. And I'm dating his sister, and he hates me for that.
So yeah, I think we see you walking across the parking lot and like skulking away in an alley, like hiding with this was brightly colored suit that's now grimy and like kind of crinkled, and like now there's a cape added to the accoutrement. And we see Matt go and like with a half burned cigar. Yes. Take my sister away, will you? Well,
I didn't take her nowhere. I didn't take her nowhere, Bob. She came with me willingly. She loves me.
This is him just muttering to himself in the alley.
Got it. Never mind.
No, he's skulking out of sight.
That would have been my response.
100%. And that's why he didn't want to hear a reasonable and like no, I'm emotionally like therefore I'm your sister's partner. Like we have a wholesome relationship.
Yeah.
But no, he's not there for that. He's just here to see the bad. And I think with that we will pan over to our final guest, who has never made an appearance on the TV show. Theater Nerd, what are you doing at this game? You know that you have to be at a place soon to get ready for this like event that this contest that you've won for whatever reason. You have to be there soon, but you do have a little while to just kind of explore the convention on your own.
So I'm imagining the feeling that V is feeling is a lot like how I felt when I walked into the Indiana State Convention Center for Gen Con for the first time. Just a deep breath, like probably they pinch themselves, like just to make sure they aren't dreaming, and very much not dreaming. And then they walk in like they belong there, even though they feel like simultaneously like they belong there, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like that cursory like walk around the convention center or hotel ballroom. I don't know the scale of this, but I'm imagining Gen Con in my head, which is probably way bigger than this actually is.
It is much bigger than the publicity for it would lead you to believe.
Okay. And I think V is going to end up doing what I did at Gen Con, taking a walk around like the dealer's room and just getting the lay of the land.
Okay. So as you explore and you walk around, some things that you might notice are that a lot of the art that people are selling looks like it came from the first page of a Google image search. The t-shirts are all like, there's not an advertisement for like any size listings on any t-shirts. It just looks like somebody said, I want this to look like a thing, and did the minimum amount of work to make it look like a thing without, like, to people who aren't actively inspecting it. You too are hearing a lot of the word rutabaga in the background, and it's unsure why they're not having rutabagas on the cafeteria isn't selling rutabagas. We're not really sure why. And
my character just assumes that it's a vocal exercise.
Oh, 100%. You know, and it's what everybody's doing. All the cool kids are doing it these days.
Rutabaga.
I was always a big me and my roommate one time, whose name was Ira, with Ira acquired an Irish wristwatch to replace his seemingly stolen Swiss wristwatch. And that is a great one to get drunk folks to say, because it is tough. But yeah.
Violet, I don't think has ever been to a convention.
Fantastic.
I think, like, rural Midwestern United States is where they came from.
Hell yeah. So then I think you are being ushered around this convention by a small child. And the small child is like,
Okay, well, here's the bathrooms, and here's the t-shirts, and the cafeteria, and okay, I think that's the thing. Can you sign this piece of paper so I can get the guide badge for my local child scout group?
Can I read what's on the paper?
definite, you 100% can. So the first three sentences are like, I hereby agree that little child A has done their bracket child camp, child scout bracket duties in showing me around this conversation and showing me around this convention center, and then it starts to kind of lose coherence. And then about like after 2 or 3 nonsense sentences, it says, "I hereby sign away the right to persecute for any injury that may occur during the filming of this. I am hereby acknowledging that I understand that this is a closed set and not an actual scenario, and any statements thereafter will be false on my account and will leave me eligible for like it is 100%. I know I'm in a fake thing. I'm signing. It looks like the waiver that you sign up to be on reality TV.
Did a particular director of the last name Ryder put you up to this, kid?
No.
I don't believe you, but I don't want to, I want you to get that badge, and they'll sign the paper.
Golly, I'm going to be the best child scout ever. And they skip away. And I think at that we see this person who has been slowly like getting more and more like into character as the who ultimately turned out to be like the big bad of the whole thing. But it is a very much like a kind of kaiju role. If you can imagine the kind of like effects and things that, like we mentioned, like Rita Repulsa would have to go through to like look like Rita Repulsa at the show. It's kind of like that, a little bit more so than like a Lord Zed situation. And the now costumed Mack Ryder, and we haven't really decided what Mack's villain was on the show, and I'm okay with that right now. I think there will probably be a time later where we have to decide, exactly what Mack's role was. But for now, you just see this kind of like costumed up thing, and you hear a deep voice going, "Welcome to the convention. We're so honored to have you.
Is he talking?
Did you find everything to your taste? Do you need more M&Ms?"
He's talking to me.
Yes.
I'm a bit overwhelmed.
I understand. Fame can do that to people. The important thing to remember is your humble beginnings. Here, let me show you to the table. And kind of ushers you towards the direction. Do you follow?
I mean, yeah, I'm by the villain of the Kneon Knights.
Yeah. And I think as you kind of come to meet his pace, I think maybe he stops short at one point, and you scuff the bottom of his shoe. And he stops and he looks at you. I should have known. You are just like the rest of the Kneon Knights. I mean, follow me. We are almost there.
So there's an immediate like deer in the headlights look, like, oh no, I didn't do what I just did because I know who's in this suit, but like I'm not gonna say that out loud, and I'm awful. How dare I scuff his shoe? Like, I just graduated college. I don't even have my diploma yet. It's not official yet. No, I have the fancy case that they hand you at the actual graduation ceremony, but I haven't gotten the paper diploma. And I don't want to chance it, but I might have just ruined that opportunity. So I follow him the rest of the way to the table and try to like act like I belong there.
Great. And I think you are probably the last one to arrive. I think the other 3 of our stars are there. There are no more seats out or anything. There is already a line. And it is, you're in kind of like one of these big conference rooms. it looks like there is y'all are behind a podium, and at the end of it, folks will be able to like walk up on the stage. You'll stay seated, and they'll be able to sign kind of standard fare. And I think we see Mac. Is there anything that y'all say before the mics are hot?
Hey, Leopold, what's your character's name?
Kyle.
The actor?
Yeah, the actor's name is Kyle. Yeah.
Hi there, Kyle. You got a little bit of blue on your face right there.
Yes. Yeah. And I just start wiping it off. I start to tell you what it is, and then I just go, nah, never mind.
I didn't know they had a blueberry ice cream around here.
Yeah, it honestly, I was
You'll
making
have to show me where to get some of that.
Well, you can't have any of this ice cream, mate. It's we're monogamous.
It's a little bit selfish, friend. You shouldn't be keeping it all to yourself.
Yeah, well, me and this ice cream are monogamous.
Oh well, okay then. I guess I understand. Can't get between a man and his ice cream.
Yeah, mate. Maybe you
should see the missus and some cookies.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit over here because of like just the sunlight really is just real bright right here. So I'm gonna go sit over on this side, away from here. So have a good day.
You too,
right,
pal.
mate. You take care.
Can Kyle get up as V is entering, and like V just takes like whatever open seat is left at the table?
For sure. Yes, I get up and come over there.
Totally wrong name placard like they do at Comic-Con.
So yeah, the only seat I had was just now taken by V. So I just let out a big sigh and turn around and go and sit back down next to this goofball.
No. I thought the seat. No. I'm saying I took the seat next to Paul.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
End up in V's seat.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Was the only other empty chair.
Cool. I thought you were taking the only empty chair.
Like, oh no, I didn't sit there. It's your seat. You can sit there. I didn't want to sit there.
Yeah.
I'm nobody. I'm sorry. I just won a contest. Like, aspiring actor here. Hi. It's
I was wondering who you are.
V. I belong here. And like immediately reaches for like the bottle of water or the cup of water on the table.
Well, I think you're gonna do fine. Half of us didn't even really know how to act when we first started doing the series anyway, so you'd be fine.
Absolutely, and some of us still don't know how to act. Ain't that right, Kyle?
Oh, I hope you're not talking about me, mate.
Oh, absolutely not.
All right.
Smile.
What's Wyatt up to while all this discourse is happening?
I think he's just like he's listening to Paul, and just like at one point, he's just when the cookie comment happens, he's just like, for fuck's sake, Paul. It's like and pulls out a flask that I think is full of Gatorade because there's a lot of walking today, and you have to stay hydrated.
We're not kids anymore.
But yes, takes a swig from a flask that he then hides away.
Yeah. Cool. So I think as that happens, the lights dim, and to those of you who are particularly astute, you might hear the sound of like shuffling and moving and things. And you are in the spotlight, so you can't really see what's going on. And you see Mack Ryder and all of his fully kaiju'd glory. Hey, thanks so much for that raid.
Thanks for the raid, Jim.
So for Raiders, we are filming, or rather about to start filming, our first movie, Kneon Knights Reunknighted, spelled in the worst way possible.
You're welcome.
The most painful way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Our characters are all actors are all former 90s actors, reunited at a strange, mysterious convention, and the guest of honor, Mack Ryder, the former antagonist of the show, who has gone on to be a world-renowned director, is about to address the crowd, who is unable to be seen in spotlight blindness. As Mack walks to the center, he goes, "Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight?" And like, there's a really short, concise cheer, and he goes, "All right, well, that's great, because I know that we've all come here for one reason, and one reason alone: to destroy the Kneon Knights." And the lights flash up, and we're all where there was the line of audience members. There is now at least 100 of these pretty uniformly clad hench people that you haven't seen since the day the show stopped filming, all in slightly updated, more edgier, with hard lines, armor, and like a little bit more vicious weaponry than they ever had. You know, it looks like a kind of a gritty remake. And the character turns around and Mack says, "You will never escape with your lives." And there's a bright pyrotechnics flash, and Mack moves. And from in front of you, do any of you have any belongings on the table?
My sunglasses and my cell phone.
Okay.
I think my phone was on the table too.
Yeah, probably a phone, because like I probably took pictures.
Okay. Well, all of your phones are smashed as a giant wardrobe falls from the ceiling and embeds itself in the table. And does anyone move to open the wardrobe? Fantastic.
I'm really pissed about my phone.
Yeah. Is this like some sort of like flash mob or some shit? What's happening, Mack?
Who in the fucking hell is gonna pay for my phone?
Hey guys.
Yeah, who the hell are you?
I'm the Prism Ranger. Get it straight.
Oh, V. That's all right. Sorry about that. I forgot your name.
I'm only gonna assume there's costumes in here, and we're supposed to fight.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna fight somebody for breaking my damn
Well,
$1,300 phone.
Put on your costume and let's go. I open up the wardrobe.
And I think...
Are you in on this?
I think as you start to complain, I think the VIP badge that you have around your neck, like, digs in real quick, and you feel a quick, like, burn of pain. And over the loudspeakers you hear, "Remember, stay in character."
Well, let's suit up, everyone.
It seems we're in quite the predicament. And you turn to see that Paul Goodman is already fully costumed and like hair swept back and like greased up. He has his like red eye contacts in, and he's like totally in character already. It's like, well.
Yeah, it takes my character a minute to get dressed.
So as if y'all open up the wardrobe, there are costumes, and there is the weapons that your character always equipped himself with in the show. There was, or in the comic book, for V's character, and as well as like new reimagined kind of costumes that still definitely share, like, you are still recognizable as an Amethyst Prism Ranger, but it's a little bit of a different costume. It's a little bit more edgy. Not like Batman costume with nipples edgy, but a little bit more like Dark Knight edgy.
I thought it was just fine, those nipples.
Aiden Blaze, because his costume's his gemstone's the fire opal. It's black with like red neon on it.
Here for it. Yeah. So does everybody play ball?
Yeah, I definitely do. But I carefully put my clothes that I'm wearing in the wardrobe for safekeeping because they're expensive. Okay. And I don't have, I spend my money on all these clothes, but I don't have a lot of money really. So Gotta take care of them.
So I think the camera starts to like pan around, and we see our 4 Kneon Knights reunited.
During the
Yeah.
changing process,
Mhm.
am I able to like get my VIP badge off like sneaky
It
like
is-
while
it
I'm
is, like-
changing?
It is like little millipede hooks dug into your skin.
Oh wow, that's gnarly. Cool, thanks for that detail. Nightmare fuel.
We read John Dies at the End recently. That is a
I
lot
love
of
that movie.
terrible things in there.
I think V, now dressed as in their ranger uniform, points at Ryder and goes, "Mr. Big Bad, you're going down."
And I think again over the echo over the intercom you just hear. And the you hear the maniacal laugh, and either way, I win today.
Shit, I muted myself. You lost the second you broke my damn phone,
And then the
that's when I pulled my
pain
glove
comes
down.
back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. The burning pain came as a result
Of
to
me
you.
talking, not
Yeah,
being in
yeah.
character.
Mm-hmm. Like it's not like enough to actively take damage, but it's enough to be like, ow, fuck, that shit hurts.
Yeah, well, can I still like lightly mutter under my breath in my,
Oh, totally,
in my
yeah,
British
yeah.
accent? Okay, okay, got it. Just no line delivery.
Yeah.
As everybody's like changing, Aiden Blaze will always have to Aiden Blaze will try to draw some of the attention of the camera to allow his fellow actors to dress up and go, well, I know who the other two are, but you points dramatically to the Prism Ranger. I don't recognize your face. Who are you and where did you come from?
My name is Z, and I'm from the future, where that guy wins.
What? The future?
Dun dun dun.
Impossible.
There is actually a dum 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 that plays over the intercoms.
I know. I got you on sound effects. Don't worry.
It some would say it's the darkest timeline, but I'm here to make it the brightest timeline.
Well, I hope you don't expect me to trust you, just because you say you're from the future and on our side. I know a few things about deception.
You will definitely have to prove yourself.
Okay, what would you like me to do?
Well,
Take
the
down a
first-
few foes.
Okay, I would like to go to the line of hench people.
You're muted,
Oh.
Zan.
I think yes, but I think before that, we have to there has to be the shot. So I think we have to have like everyone conveniently like the way they're gathered around and holding themselves. It's gotta create this wonderful tableau. And so while we're at this moment, I would like each of you to please describe what your outfit looks like and what your weapon, I guess, is. And so please, anyone who wants to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. As the Prism Ranger, it's a lot of holographic, specifically of the linear variety, because there are different varieties of holo. I might have spent way too much time watching Simply Nailogical videos in the last couple of days. She's a holo freak, and I mean that in the most loving way. But yes, and I think there's like a V on V's costume that comes out to like obnoxious 90s like shoulder pad-esque things going on. And V also basically carries a rainbow lightsaber a la Prism it's a sword, and if they have to get real crazy, it can also take the shape of a lance. It's basically like it really could be any shaped weapon, but it's generally a long sword.
That's cool. Can I describe what my character's armor looks like real quick? I don't want to interrupt anybody.
I'm good.
Please go for it.
Okay, so my character looks like a Ninja Turtle, but a Power Ranger mixed together, because his thing that he morphs into, or his like Zord or whatever, is a snapping turtle. So I basically have like a turtle-esque like helmet with like the turtle beak on top, and then I've got and then I put on like I attach like a backpack style like shell on my back, and I have like a green, and I have like a golden almost like bandana, like it's not actually a bandana, it's just that my helmet has like a golden bar that goes around my eyes. But for the most part I'm emerald green, and I wield and I have a bow that like magnetically attaches like perfectly to my turtle shell, that shoots arrows that like the arrow stays this, like the arrow that I shoot stays the same, but then two light arrows like split off of it and then fly alongside it.
Nice, very cool, very very cool. So also I think this Zare's character was like from the season where trains were the motif, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a neon train horse in rainbow colors.
Right, and so Leland's was more of an animal season, and our other two guests.
I am dressed. So Aiden is dressed in this black and with red like neon highlight armor. He is vaguely themed after an orca, though you'd have to like squint to see it, kind of thing. His weaponry is a pair of dual blades, like any good Lancer type character would have. So he is very much the like, yes, I'm this skilled ninja type character compared to this strong main character kind of guy. So he was once the effective Green Ranger, so to speak, of the team. He was the bad guy that ended up joining the good guys' side after his redemption arc. But yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. And Pat.
Yeah, on the Amethyst Knight, so I'm in primarily purple armor with I think some black highlights. My creature was Pegasus. I think probably maybe after the animal season, it was sort of like mythical animals maybe. And so like my helm has a bit of like a horse motif to it, and being the nerdy science ranger at the time, he's got what was maybe a jetpack or something where he's got wings that can kind of extend and not extend. Because, of course, for the merch, you needed the toy where it's like, I hit a button and then the Amethyst Knight's wings come out.
It was the
Buzz Lightyear only the Amethyst Ranger?
Yes, Buzz Lightyear. And his weapon, I think, he's actually got a pretty big, like, Warhammer or Maul type thing for if he gets up close. But then he could flip it, and the rest of it is a barrel. Because as we were talking about before, he's got some different concoctions and shit from his lab that he can throw in there and like launch at people.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Of course, and each the effect that came out of the Maul toy was sold separately each time, so you had to collect them all. So you had to buy it like 5 times.
Yeah, new season. What's the old one worth? And I know we keep mentioning this is just so the audience knows where our head was at. I know we keep mentioning Power Rangers. Well, honestly, in the kind of the pitch meeting for this, Beetleborgs Beetleborgs is where your head should be. So Beetleborgs, Beast Wars, Knights of Tirnanog. Those were kind of the inspiration points for this. So that is
Just throw
what
them
we're
all
doing.
into a pot and just stir it all
Well,
up.
just to make it more like Power Rangers, my character uses a little flute, like a little flute, like the Green
A
Ranger.
little turtle flute.
Yeah, it's like an ocarina, but it looks like a turtle.
Fantastic. If you go to play it, do you go to play it?
I don't want to summon my Zord yet. I mean,
Okay,
unless we're
cool.
summoning Zords.
All right, it seems a little. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's when I summon the Zord, man. He comes rolling in, crushing through buildings and shit, you know?
Okay, so I believe Z was about to do a thing as like the lights dim and then flash as everyone takes a dramatic pose in this tableau that is definitely not going to be on the cover or anything. What is the course of action?
I don't think Z is going to draw their neon or their prism sword quite yet. I think they're gonna just jump off the stage into the lineup of henchmen and just start punching things.
Heck yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and roll for that? I think that it would have been advantageous before we started for me to pull up a character sheet so I could remember exactly.
I'm assuming it's close combat, and I always get this confused. Is it might or dexterity?
So I think that is going to depend entirely on how you go about it. Are you like going through swinging haymakers, or are you like trying to duck in between this mass of putty-like enemies that are surrounding you, but all trying to fight you one or two at a time?
I think I want to show off a bit of prowess and not just overwhelming power.
All right, cool. So I think that's going to be with dexterity then. I think that'll be close combat and dexterity. And so we're looking for 8 and 9 is 1 success. 10 will count as 2.
I got 1 success.
We're at 1 success. Okay, so I think I don't need to roll. It's scripted. I don't need to roll. I think that as you like go in to try this really daring feint, I think maybe it's not quite as clean as you were hoping for on your end, and you see like the stance of the person in front of you like change a little bit, so they take the full brunt of this. What kind of attack did you do?
It was probably just like a straight gut punch.
All right, I think they
Keep going.
I think they like angle themselves to take it like more in center of mass, and like you kind of feel them lift off the ground maybe a little bit more than it seemed like they should, and they hit the ground and kind of flail for a moment before rolling away directly out of camera line. You feel like maybe it was this first bit might be a gimme to make you look cool to get folks invested. What the rest you see that Z is now in the crowd being slowly individually swarmed, while the three of you are still on stage in the spotlight. In the spotlight of the now bright room. I don't think that we've decided yet though what these faceless NPC characters look like. Do we? Is anything calling out to anybody?
What is the antagonist's costume look like again?
We haven't decided if we can hit both. We can do both.
So can we have our legally distinct version of a male Scorpio with the I wish I had pulled out. I have a little figurine from a mystery bag, a Power Rangers mystery bag. It was gold armor with like antennas like curled around like what would be her ears.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right. Can
Unless someone else has another.
no, that sounds good. Maybe her minions can be.
It's Zack Snyder's Zack. So no, legally distinct Zack Snyder, Mack Ryder. Character is masculine in the show.
What if it's like the Scorpion? I don't know.
I'm 100% Scorpion.
Okay.
But so, like, what if the character back in the show was the Scorpion, and now being future Scorpion, he's got, I don't know, like mechanical augmentations or something like that?
I like that.
Man, I
Go
kind of like the idea that like they have like the scorpion on like the back of their head or something, and then it wraps around into like a weapon actually that they're holding.
Yeah.
So they're like wielding the quote unquote tail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the minions, maybe they could all have like pole arms that are like scorpion tails on a stick.
Like
Basically.
a build a blanc, yeah, I know, yeah. Man, it was a 3.5 weapon, and that's the only place I've ever seen.
Right.
That's where I learned all my weapons from too. Yeah, no, cool. Yeah, sounds good to me. I had the only thing I had in mind was glowing red laser eyes in their helmets. I don't know if we can go with that.
That sounds like a scorpion thing.
I pictured Mack Ryder as having at least like one side of his face like the frickin' Kano faceplate from Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like gold and carapaced, and like maybe a little bit of like fang plate hanging down on there, and like so we'll say it's going for this purple and gold motif, because it's got to be visible. It's super villain, and it is like scorpion legs have like reached over and are interlocking, going down like buttons down the torso with spines and multiple tails, not just like the one tail. There's like a set of tails coming out of the shoulder this way, around the head, over the head. Like this thing is made of choking hazards.
He's the Scorpion King. No, not from that movie.
Different. It's fine. Yeah, and I think that the putties, what are we gonna call them? The stingers. I think the stingers are in like kind of a much more like played down, where instead of like actually like metal scorpion stuff, it's just paint, and they've got the giant hooked pole arms with a little scorpion tip. And whenever they aren't actively attacking, you can sometimes see like a drop of a green liquid hit the ground. It starts steaming, but only when they're not actively being used. Yeah, so that is the horde that awaits the exit doors that do have like the exit sign. The exit light above it seems to be flashing.
Okay. Anyone want to go? Guess not. And in that case, I guess Aiden Blaze will take action. So there's a bunch of enemies that are currently around Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it just took out one. I would like to jump into the scene as well to help out and go after one of the that scene where it's like one of the ones is like raising their scorpion stinger after like the success.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, let's go.
And I'd like to take him out.
How do you do it?
I am going to do that thing where it's just like he's like coming up, and I would like to just like swoop down and like chop him effectively with a sword. Just
all
and
right.
Sparks flying, everything, of course.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, everything has like small amounts of gunpowder attached to it. It would seem.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So I think that's going to be strength in close combat. So why don't you go ahead and roll that for me?
You mean might in close combat, right?
Might in close combat. Yes, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And da-da-da. Okay, so what are the successes?
So we're looking at 8 and 9 are a single success. 10 is 2 successes.
Okay, I should stop rolling d6s then.
Yes, you will. I mean, you can. That is a great way to add to the writer's pool, but not a great way for anything else.
For
Okay.
anyone watching that maybe doesn't know what that is, what is the writer's pool?
So the writer's pool, rather the group rewrite pool, is a meta currency that you earn that can be then used to do things like empower an omniscient narrator, or to bring in a stunt double, or have a piece of the set become very cheap and break apart. It can also be used to change the world in small but significant ways. That will come into play more as our characters fail more and have the options to use them.
Okay. So I got 4 successes.
Okay, yeah, it is. It seems like maybe this one didn't realize that that they weren't supposed to really go for it, and I think I think they kind of try to angle and take to really sell the attack the same way that that Z's victim did. However, I think you are fully in character at this moment, and I think you just drop them with a single hit. They crumple. It's not the dramatic rolling on the ground. They just kind of fall. Not dead, because you would know, the blade is sharp, but with the sparks and everything, they do hit the ground pretty hard.
As he hits the ground and he goes, oh, and falls forward, I've already got my back turned away from Z, and I look over my shoulder, sliding the sword back into a sheath. You're pretty good. Let's say I believe you, that you're from the future and you know what dark timeline's about to happen. Where do we need to go to stop it?
I'm
Sorry, I threw the ball back.
where do I want to go? Is this on me, Zan, to come up with an idea, or for the group to come up with an idea?
Typo didn't ask me.
I just wanted to make sure.
If you need to.
Well, I think this can very easily be a collaborative group decision, because this will be the ending scene of the movie. What we are establishing right here, this is going to be plot written in as the movie is filmed. Whatever is here because it is what is supposed to be here.
I got an idea.
Okay.
You can hear it out, take it, leave it, throw it away. I don't care. Maybe it's on top of the mall, and there's a giant pillar of light shooting up from the top of the mall into space. Kind of like a rip-off of the Avengers. Age of Ultron. Not Age of Ultron. The first Avengers.
My head went to something, poison in the water means something. It went to Dr. Horrible's.
Poison the well. Got it.
Well, I think
he poisoned the well, and therefore the future became the dark. And
I think hearing you two talk about that, Wyatt curses under his breath as he has to transition into this fucking character for the first time in forever. Just well, gee, everyone, I guess if this is the darkest timeline, then we need to go back and stop it when the timeline splits to affect the chrono accuracy.
You're such a nerd.
So to the lab it is?
Maybe there's a pillar of light coming out of the lab. Let's stick with the
Okay,
pillar of
well,
light.
you want your pillar of light. It's
I want my
coming
fucking
from
light.
the future, the time travel portal.
We've got
You should
the
pick
spotlight.
objective markers somewhere in the city.
That's exactly what I wanted there for, so we know where to go.
Yeah. So there is you know that the as you discuss this, and you hear the voice of Ryder over the intercom going, "No, you'll never make it to the lab in the parking lot alive."
Can I shoot some minions with my bow?
Oh,
and arrow?
fantastic! Yeah, why don't you go ahead and describe what that looks like for me?
All
We need
right.
to clear away.
So my bow just like magnetically attaches to the back of my shell.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna grab the bow and just slip it right off, and I pull arrows out from I pull basically in my shell is like kind of like a quiver. I can just like pull an arrow out of the bottom right side of it, and I just start yanking arrow out, knock it, pull it back, and then when it fires, as it's flying through the air, it actually twists it. At first, two green energy arrows like split off of it, and then it twists sideways and goes and try and hit as many minions as possible.
Hell yeah!
All right, so I roll my.
That will not be close combat. That will be aim.
Yeah.
That will either be aim or. No, yeah, that's gonna be aim.
Right, yeah, I've got a 5. I roll 5 dice, and what's the success?
That is 100% going to be dexterity.
Yeah, that's what
You could argue something else, but it would be an argument.
Yeah, oh, I know, right? Me strong, me fireball good. Anyway,
Have
no,
you ever tried to fire a longbow before?
Yeah, no, you do have to
That
be
is a
strong.
might roll, gosh darn.
Yeah, especially those like those hunting. I've tried finding those like 80 and 90 pound like hunting compound bows before. I'm just like, what the. Anyway, but yeah, I fired a Turkish longbow before. That I think was 65 pounds. I could barely pull it back.
Yeah, but I have to admit, there is an aiming component because like you have to try and hit them as the people are trying to run away from you. But
so I'm going to roll. Either way, I've got 5 dice. What's the success number that I'm looking for again in this game?
This is going to be 1 success. You only need 1 success.
So 6 is the target number.
8.
8's the target number. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got 2 10s.
Fantastic. So that's 4 successes. Because 10 count 2.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it goes off exactly as you said. The arrow splits. You take down. I think 3 were like amassing themselves together to perform a special technique on the gathered duo of Typo and Nash's character, and they were quickly dropped by your bows, exploding on impact. Even the light one, not really sure how the special effects are working on that, but they are, and they hit the ground and like.
Could we say that they let off more like a flashbang while the main arrow has an explosive tip?
I think so. Yeah.
So we got flashbang on top of an explosion. Yeah.
I kind of just like in the movie, like when it's shown, there are the 3 arrows always, but when it fires in real life, it's just the one, and you see 2 guys on the side go, oh,
Yes.
invisible arrow.
Yeah.
Exactly. They fix it in post.
No, they still have the poom, like
Exactly.
in front of them. But yeah, no, there's no actual arrow, no contact made. It's all done in post.
I'd like to try something.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Science-y, huh?
I do have something sciencey to try. Just how do trademarks work again, friend?
So
I have the
trademarks.
same question.
So trademarks are things that are personal to your character, that you are known for in this role, and that are not specifically like. I think they're supposed to be specifically tied to something, but I think I forgot about that until just this moment. So we're not going to play by that rule. It is something that. So, like, say your character was good in a pinch. If you could argue that this scene was applicable for good in a pinch, you use good in a pinch, you gain an additional 2 dice on the roll as a bonus. And if you succeed whatever the difficulty is on this roll, then you take directorial control of the scene.
Ooh. Yeah, it's not Wyatt, since we're in character now. What Cliff Stone is going to do is, I think he's got like a little bandolier of cartridges, and he's going to grab one that looks like a little, God, what are those electric balls? Are they called like Edison balls or something?
Yeah, the Tesla balls?
Tesla balls. That's Edison took them. No, they're Edison balls now.
That's so good. Good joke. Solid reference.
And I will load that into my launcher. And geez, everybody, it's the Scorpions are empowered because Aquarius is in retrograde, so they're getting extra Scorpio energy. We need to hit the Scorpion King so that he can't release his Electro-Scorpio pheromones and empower his stingers. And I'd like to launch like this electric staticky bullshit special effects launcher kind of at Mack Ryder. And I think that fits my streams of jargon trademark.
You know what? I think it does. So why don't you roll? I think that is 100% going to be technology.
Oh,
And
is it really? Oh,
I think
shit.
100% that's going to be technology.
Not gonna be
there.
aim. How
It
am I
could-
better?
Would you rather be? Are you relying on the machine to do its job, or you're tossed to be the deciding factor?
I think it's more me getting it like in close proximity to Mack
All right.
Ryder.
Then let's do. Aim and let's do aim and dexterity then.
Okay. So that's however many dots I've gotten these, and then 2 extra dice.
And then 2 extra dice, yeah.
So that's
So
9
this is
dice.
going to be a little bit more difficult because this is going against the big bad. So this is actually going to be sitting at 4 success.
Okay, well that was 6 dice. I need to roll how many? I'm rolling
8 or 9 is 1.
3
10
and
is
4. No, I'm just counting how many more dice I need.
oh
I need to roll 3 more dice. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. We've got those are nothing. Those are nothing. An 8, 2 9s, and a 10.
All right, that will
So-
do it, and do it by 1. So you've got 1 success left over. There's not, you can use, so additional successes for folks watching. Additional successes can be spent to buy like stunts and improve like the effect of attacks and the kind of the cinematographic element. Oh, an extra 1 success. Pat, are you looking at an example that you would like to use?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, hit it with us.
The scientist has a simple stunt that is called Surgical Strike, which is scientists are more careful and discerning in their attacks. A scientist with this stunt can disable one of the target's alien powers upon a successful attack roll.
Okay,
So-
fantastic.
I think I disabled something on Scorpion King. I forget what we named him. Suit. Legally distinct
Yeah.
Scorpion King.
Other Scorpion King. Scorpion.
The fake Scorpion. Oh,
Scorpion Lord?
Yeah.
there you go.
Here we go, because here's because we have to like, this is intellectual property from Asia originally, like 99% chance. So I think the daimyo Scorpion.
Okay.
I feel
So
like we're
that's
just one
nothing about-
step away from Twitch copyright striking us for some reason.
Fine.
Oh no, I know for real though, but it just kind of like I get that. Oh, we're almost there. Which is
Got
place.
the MCA.
Yeah. So with an additional success, yeah, this weird little sphere lands. What does it look like?
Oh gosh. I think it's we see one of those Tesla balls just flying through the air, and then it's the frame cuts, and suddenly it's like like what they make it look like when a generator explodes in one of those shows, and it's just like sparks everywhere.
Okay.
And there's like the sound effect of like of like machinery like powering down.
Fuck yeah. So I think that that's exactly what happens. And there's all the like super spark heavy effects, and I think as the you also get to take directorial control. I do believe.
Oh no! Why did I do this? That's too much pressure.
So tell you what. So let me. I'll deliver the results, and then I think that directorial control for y'all will actually bring us pretty well into the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball hits and the explosions happen, and yeah,
I do have an idea after you describe this. You go first.
And so the little like green drops at the end of the pole arms stop falling, and you notice that there was this high pitched whine that you had only been like the noise of a refrigerator. You only notice it when it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear there's this noise that's been there this whole time that goes away, and suddenly the kind of organized chaos that was around you loses the organized trait, and they just all start wildly flailing and fighting with each other with very over exaggerated moves and getting hit, and it's like the most martial arts enthusiast mosh pit you've ever seen.
So like a hardcore kid kind of like dancing type.
Yes,
ninja
like a slam dancing. Yes, some slam dancing, two step. Yeah, no, that was for the days.
I was the metal. I was always the metal kid that would just ram my body into those kids. I had about. We didn't have a great relationship. Anyway, continue. I was a scene kid. Now everyone knows. I'm embarrassed.
I think the only thing in my head that I would add to the scene is, as all that happens, there's a little like cut from the second floor balcony that you described earlier watching, and we see the little child, the child scout, is watching all of this like very intently with some sort of like little apparatus in their hands that like sparks up, and then like they seem to like get frustrated when that happens too.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, I like that little tasty morsel that you have left on my plate. I am here for this. So the floor itself is now a writhing mass of violence, poorly directed violence nonetheless. And so I think the appropriate thing to do would be, because this is still the exposition scene and we need to see how excellent and badass your characters are. So I'm not actually going to have you roll for this. With the explosion and the whining and the chaos and the whining stopping and the chaos that starts, Ryder goes, and I'll see you soon, knights, and like kind of spits away in like a puff of smoke and kind of the whirring of machinery. And so I believe the rest of this scene is just going to be y'all being badasses. So please explain to me the path that your character takes that gets them to the exit.
Well, I was going to use one of my trademarks.
Okay, what you got?
I was thinking either I've done this in a scene before, or over-dramatic something. And what I think what I'm going to go with is over-dramatic something. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Z pulls out the prism sword.
Mm-hmm.
And it grows longer, and it looks like it starts pulsing with, like, prism energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they begin spinning like Link towards the door.
Okay, so...
I feel like that's rather over-dramatic given the situation.
It definitely is. I was just going to have y'all like automatically succeed on this. So if you do this, then that means that we are introducing a chance for, if you want to roll for it, to use the trademark, you're introducing a chance for failure.
That's okay.
All right, fantastic. So I'm going to say this is a success barrier of 4, and this is going to be probably either close combat or athletics with probably dexterity, because you're spinning rather than just like making a single attack.
Okay.
And a
Here
cover
goes.
of "You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round" starts playing.
That's what got us. That's what got that's what got the strike right there.
Damn it,
That's
that's
the-
me.
I only got 3 successes.
Oh no! So, I think that it still happens. I just think that like maybe like midway through one of the wire pulls, for like the stinger that's being thrown back. I think that like maybe one of the wires breaks, and you see someone like actually hit the ground and like tumble for a sec, and it's like a little, and then kind of the claw starts to in your chest again, and you remember like, oh no, oh it's okay, there's a medic, I guess this is fine. And so that is going to add 1 point to the rewrite pool. So the group collectively has 1 of a maximum of 15 points. And these don't we can I'm totally cool with carrying these over to the next film. There's no pressure to use this tonight.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah, and so I believe that is how Z gets out. It looks amazing. There's just some technical stuff on like the back end that's gonna make picking the angles for this scene a little tricky.
That's a them problem.
Yeah, totally a them problem. You look like a fucking badass. Who would like to take the lead next?
I have an idea if I can go, if that's okay.
Hell yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the trademark "perfectly shot," except I'm gonna interpret it to involve arrows now instead of the camera, because it doesn't say one way or another.
It doesn't, does it?
No, it sure don't.
How it does that?
And I did not take that with me using a bow in mind. I came up with the bow like today because I didn't think about the weapon at all until Typo said something. But yeah, so I'm gonna do it perfectly shot, and I'm just gonna like load the wall if I can. Is there a wall?
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
Yeah, there's
gonna
a
load-
wall.
Okay, I'm gonna load the wall up with arrows, like going up from the bottom up higher, and then all along towards the exit, and then I'm just gonna like do some sort. I'm gonna run over and do like some gymnastic shit, and like just climb the arrows. And the energy arrows are maintaining, like they're not blowing up or anything. It's all just like staying there in the wall, like
Okay, cool.
like some footing for climbing.
I think that works. I think that is going to be aim and dexterity for sure. Actually, no, it's not. I think it's going to be a lot more fun for it to be aim and cunning.
Aim and cunning. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so to make the shot first, but then do you want me to make an athletics afterwards for the climbing?
No, because I think we're going to try to limit this to just
Got
like,
it.
yeah.
Do it all in one. All right. That's
but
fine.
you do get an extra 2 dice for it being a trademark that's used.
Okay, so that's 6 dice total.
And we'll have a success of 4.
Okay, so that's only 2 successes.
Only 2 successes. Okay, that's no problem. It still looks good. It's still it
and it's also
not
perfectly shot. So
yeah, no, it looks nice. It's just I think that the room is not quite as high up as you were really expecting it to be. So where like it's still a good run, like the arrows spacing, it's only like 4 arrows, so it's not quite as many as you were kind of like planning. So it's just like you wind up having not quite the most excellent gate that you were hoping for. But you still get to the exit, and as you run over, are you like taking shots at the crowd, or are you
we will say I'm basically shooting in front of the minions to try and clear a way for the rest of my allies to through the crowd. Like I'm gonna try and like separate them with explosions, basically, like make them step back a bit and kind of clear out. I'm not trying to actually specifically hit any of them.
So as I am learning this game and trying to like think on my feet a little bit better for it, I realized what I should have done also in Z's situation is going to be the offer that I will present to you. I will either give you a rewrite point for the failure, or I will give you a consolidation and a consolation, and I will drop the number of successes needed if either of your allies try something to get out, which is more palatable. Are you gonna make it easier for everybody, Leland, or are you gonna keep are you gonna increase the writer's pool?
I'll increase the writer's pool.
Okay. Were you about to say something?
Nope.
It's 2 now. The writer's pool. 2.
Yes, 2 points in the writer's pool. Yeah.
Cool. I'm just keeping up with it over here. Everyone else, I assume, probably is 2, but just in case, I'm keeping track.
No worries. So who does the camera follow next?
I guess I am going to. So Aiden quickly like leaps up into the air onto one of the actor's shoulders, and like one of the mook's shoulders, and then proceeds to like take one of his swords, pull it out so that like it turns into a polearm, twist it to lock it, and then clips like his gun sword onto the back of the normal sword, and proceeds to start jumping from shoulder to shoulder and like using the polearm as a vaulting device, performing feats that are clearly beyond what a normal actor should be able to do. And I am going to use my trademark Ascended Stuntman.
Okay, hell yeah, let's do that. I think that is going to be athletics and dexterity. Kind of feels right.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay, then yeah, let's do that. And that's with a +2 as well.
Okay, so let me just roll.
So because you're elected to take the extra point to the rewrite pool, Leland, we're still looking at 4 successes to pull off some cool shit.
Sorry.
Oh, those rewrite points come so much in handy. Don't apologize.
I figured they would. That's why, and I like points in RPG games for some reason. I like get super happy when there's a point pool and something.
Let's see.
Meta currency is fun.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So, do you want to make the task easier for the last character that is yet to be filmed, or would you like to get more points in the rewrite pool?
I'll make the task easier for the last person in the play.
All right, cool. So we'll give you a consolation. We'll drop Pat's difficulty down to 3 if he decides to do anything. And does the scene go off like as you intended?
I think he like gets like as he's like he starts leaping through them, and then like a couple of the guys suddenly get together. They hold up their scorpion things to swat him out of the sky. He holds up his thing, blocks it, but like he's caught midair as like suspended between them holding theirs and him like forcing it against them. And he's like, "Okay, the way should be clear for you now," he says, calling over his shoulder.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and I think that's physically like holding them back. And Pat, what's up with you?
So important. I got a couple questions. Did any of these stingers? I know we are inside, but you know it's a set and they're causing chaos. Did any arrive in like little vehicles, like a 4-wheeler, or like the kind of like little things that drive around in an airport? Are there any branded stinger like vehicles that will be sold as toys later on in this room?
The branded Stinger golf cart. Because we're in a
I-
convention center.
I think in this room, no.
That's fine.
I think that is definitely that is a yes, but not right here.
No, that's cool. In that case, I am going to take advantage of the path that both the Emerald and Fire Opal Knights have kind of left for me and run out. But I'm also on my way. I want to try and snatch something up. Like if some piece of like future Scorpion equipment fell off either the big bad or any of the goons. I'd like to grab some equipment that we can investigate.
Fantastic. So I think that is going to
maybe even one of the stinger weapons. I don't know.
Okay. I think that is going to be probably. I think oddly enough, this is going to be larceny.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it might be like larceny and composure, or larceny and cunning or dexterity.
Okay, let's do larceny and dex.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just using a trademark.
I've got seeing beauty and horror as a trademark, and like I could kind of stretch, or think of the power for my ambition, which is creating the perfect like superhero. I'm stealing their technology.
All right. Yeah. Then take the bonus.
Okay, so I actually have 1 in larceny, and then I got 4 in dex, and then 2 bonus.
Cool. So it's going to be a 3 difficulty success.
You can do it. I only failed with 11 dice.
Listen. Ooh. Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm concerned with why you're rolling that many dice. I need to see some records.
That was only 1 success.
Okay, it was still a success though, so that's fine. Because it wasn't a botch. So we're just going to go ahead and.
What is a botch again? Is a botch no successes?
A botch is no successes and a 1. Or maybe a botch might be no successes. I don't know. We're going to play
It's
it.
no successes and a 1.
We'll know when it happens.
I'm pretty positive it's no successes, but also a 1.
Yeah. I think it's a 1 with no successes. Otherwise, no one's have no repercussions in the system.
Yeah.
So I think that you reach down to grab one of the hooks that is on the ground, and I'm going to give you this rather than offering you a choice. I think as you go to pick it up, the piece that you grab breaks off, and you have what looks to be a key fob with a easily brandable Daimyo Scorpion on the cover.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely going to be a Happy Meal toy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a scorpion tail is the logo with like cartoon stinger.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm with that. Fantastic. And with that, you all reconvene at the doors, throw them open into the bright lights and chaos of the hall beyond. And I think that's a wonderful place for us to take a break.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, we will pop over to break. Everybody get some water, stretch, do all the things you need, and we'll be back shortly.
Okay.
We're back. Hi everyone. It's us again, doing more of the things. Zan, take it off. Make me stop talking, please.
Oh, okay. Different command than take it off there, my dude.
Take it away. That's
Yes, I know.
there we go. That's what I meant to say.
I've got a hot tub behind me. I can hop in. We can switch the stream rating. Stream tab,
nope. So where we last left off, our actors had had unwittingly gone to a convention, and all but one were too foolish to read the contract that they signed under the guise of it being an autograph. Very conspicuous. Obviously, it was very poorly hidden, and one character found it, but the rest foolishly signed anyway. Well, they all signed, and the conference room where they were supposed to give a meet and greet and then do some autographs was quickly revealed to be their doom as acclaimed director Mack Ryder stepped once again into his role as the Daimyo Scorpion, and the crowd of adoring fans revealed their true form, that of the Scorpion, the Scorp Squad. Is that what we called it?
Scorp Squad, spelled with K's and
Yeah.
W's.
Yeah. And Q's?
No,
Sure.
there's no Q's.
No Q's? Okay. All
No,
right,
it's
cool.
KWAWD. Scorp Squad. Squad.
Squaw.
Squat.
Yeah, great. So it's that. And
The font is spelled with lasers. Anyway, continue.
yeah, and our heroes all got refitted in their new updated versions of their costumes with familiar weapons, with fantastic practical effects, and cinematically cleared a path and made their way through the extras, basically, as they burst out the door of this conference hall into the main convention center floor. We return from intermission. So you have all left the room of little squabbling and flailing stingers behind you. What is the next course of action? We have decided the endpoint is going to be to make it to the lab. How do you get to the lab?
I think Z starts to reach for V's cell phone to call an Uber, which is totally not in character. And so I'm assuming they get buzzed a little.
All of your phones were on the table, weren't they?
Yeah, they got
Yep.
destroyed.
Well, there's that too, but
You have a pager.
no.
Oh yeah, they don't use
Burner
pagers in
phone.
the future.
My character wasn't even alive when pagers were a thing.
Got it. Yep. From the
They-
They're
future.
only like 23. So
They didn't make a comeback at some
And from the
point.
future.
It's cyclical.
Oh,
I reach into my pocket and pull out my BlackBerry.
I think Z has on their wrist like some sort of communicator, and I think we should have like neon colored like motorcycles to ride to wherever we're going. It's going to be my suggestion as to how we get where we're going. Unless someone else has
Sounds
a
reasonable to me.
Obviously our individual Kneon Knight colors. So mine is just obnoxious linear hollow that probably blinds other drivers, but you know.
So does it? I mean, we just left a conference room in a convention center. Like,
Well, right.
I imagine that there's like some big windows and shit we could see out of. If we've kind of made the conclusion that we're on a set now that we got hoodwinked into, what did like the streets outside look like?
Well, that's the thing. You can't like see near the front doors yet. Like the windows that are up, it looks like stuff outside, but like way off in the periphery, you can see like caution tape, like closed set pieces and things, and it becomes pretty apparent this is 100% just a closed set.
Okay.
But if you look around the convention floor, you do see the refreshment center that was popped up, and there was an iconic after school gathering place that served refreshments of some kind that all of the characters frequented during the show. And I would like for us together to come up with what that place was.
The name of it.
Name of it, what it was, like what did it do? What was the
A
who was
meeting
like,
spot.
yeah, what did they sell? Who was the clientele? That kind of thing.
So my head went to Buffy because it was the Sunnydale. What if we had like the gold? You know, our
Instead of the bronze.
legally distinct bronze. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Are all of these Buffy references? I just am. Is this the Buffy reference?
Yes, it's
Okay, thank
it's the club, and the bronze is the club. And
Yeah.
Buffy the name.
Yep.
My head just immediately goes for alliteration, so I was thinking of like some sort of slushy shack.
Ooh, I like that.
But you can't put K's in the slushy shack. Like, where do we put random?
Oh, we need random Ks.
Well, I think
Oh wait,
we're pretty good on Ks. We got a bunch of Ks, and there's a certain demographic that I'm not a real big fan of.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
need to add a third one into
I
the
don't
mix.
think
Oh,
we
do we have a
need
Yeah,
K
flush
references
it.
in here.
KK? You know,
I
I said that as a tweet a lot.
I think we're good. Yeah, I don't think we need any. I would honestly kind of like to stay away from SS too.
Yeah. Yes.
I was trying to, which is really bad because I was trying to come up with K's and S's, like starting with S's too. It would have been extra bad. Anyway,
No,
Looks at the slushy shack.
bunch of Nazi. Anyway, so I think I really like the idea of the club that plays like 90s music. Like it still plays 90s music. It's just like 90s cover bands. But
I just pictured I didn't even picture live music. I just pictured like a jukebox on the wall that's like constantly jumping betwing bare naked ladies and Third Eye Blind.
well, the Bronze always has like pretty good bands playing. Actually,
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. Maybe they're cover bands of those unknown bands that were.
Or or maybe some of the actual bands that did not do that great.
Oh yeah.
Can we actually have Chumbawamba here, Zan?
Sure.
Is Chumbawamba
Yeah,
at the
Chumbawamba.
I want to
convention?
listen to that song "Get Knocked Down" while we're
Tub-
killing people.
It is tub thumping, sir. That is the song.
Well, I'm fucking glad
Call,
you remember
call it
that
by its
shit.
call it by its name.
Oh yes, don't disrespect the great Chumbawamba.
I think that yes, Chumbawamba is the guest band here,
No.
covering the like
Why did you
the
ruin
songs
it?
that were like guest starred in various episodes. And you do see the like recreation of that place where they kind of have done a pop up in that style for folks to enjoy and like get a photo ops and stuff with, and conveniently, almost as if wild coincidence, you see 4 golf carts, each emblazoned with kind of your motif. And at one of the tables, you see 4 pretty tough looking folks in leather jackets with golf cart keys dangling visibly from their wrist. Not from their
From the wrist. It's on bungees like attached.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's much better. From their wrist. Let's do that. I like the bungee.
Okay.
Well. So should we go? Do you guys think we should go up and ask them if we could borrow the golf carts?
Z has already walked up to the guys in the leather jackets, and they say to the leather jacket wearing guys, I hope I didn't break up your little fondue club reunion, but I need those keys.
I'm gonna back them up.
That
Yes,
also
we'll-
was one of my quips, by the way.
Oh, we'll take the keys now. I'm basically like the Tick. So.
Okay, so we're gonna pump the brakes real quick,
Mhm.
and because we did have a quip played. So can you repeat the quip one more time?
It was, I hope I didn't ruin your little fondue club reunion.
Okay, great. Wonderful little gem from the book. So, as a cast, the three of you need to decide if this was the appropriate time to drop that quip. Is the crowd going to laugh or groan when they hear it?
Oh, wow.
So,
I mean, I enjoyed it not knowing it was a quip, because I just imagined that V just having no idea what this time is like assumes that fondue parties are still a thing that actively happens right now.
not.
Dude, we don't do fondue parties anymore.
It's hot pot
COVID,
now,
guys.
That's like the one footnote for this decade, this series of decades in history books is like fondue was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then I and Typo, what were your thoughts on it? Appropriate time?
Thumbs up for me.
Fantastic. I said that quip is going to be stricken from your character sheet, and y'all will add 2 points to the rewrite.
Worth.
And Leland, how are you backing them up?
Oh, I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna say, yes, could you please give us the key? We'll be right out of your hair.
Okay, so which of the two of you is trying to like take over the lead in this conversation? Because that will be the person who rolls, and the person who is assisting will get bonus dice in accordance with their relationship.
So
How many dice are you
ask-
rolling?
Well, let me ask a question, because I might get an additional one.
Got it.
I have the trope of picket line. You've worked the line before, and you know what it takes to crack a company. Roll an extra die on actions in which you lead others against an opponent more powerful than your group. Does that work here? If not, you can say no. I don't know that.
Can you hit me with the last two sentences again? I was momentarily distracted by a thing that I forgot to do.
Roll an extra die on actions in which you lead others against an opponent more powerful than your group.
Okay. So I think regardless of if you're the one doing it or if you're because you are active in this process, I think that regardless of the role that you play, one additional dice will be had. I think that sounds fair.
Okay, I also would hazard that we went and did things without the rest of the group. So they're probably taking the lead.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Cool. So then, go ahead, and I will need V to roll. This is going to be manipulation and persuasion.
I would have
Don't
rolled
have any
6.
die in persuasion.
I would have rolled 6 dice for that. Do you want me to roll just on sheer amount of dice?
Yeah, you should probably.
All right, cool. I hate to, or unless narratively you think that your character was lead, which I feel like you kind of were though. So if you want to go that route, I'm fine with it.
Okay, here goes nothing. I have 3
All right,
dice.
I believe in you. I'm giving you some
Awesome.
extra dice. How many?
So you get 1 bonus dice because of picket line. You get what is your character's relationship level with Leland's character?
1.
1. So
And
you
I
get
have-
1 bonus die from that as well.
Yup. And I have 0 persuasion and 1 manipulation. So here goes nothing.
Oh boy.
Oh wow!
Well,
I'm gonna
I'm
roll
all good for
3
narrative.
10s, you guys. I'm gonna roll 3 10s.
I believe in you.
Get it?
Well, I did not fail. I got
That's
an
good.
8.
Okay, so you didn't botch you, but 1 success is definitely not going to be enough in this situation. And they kind of like I'm sorry. What was that you were saying to my friends and I, calmly enjoying a sarsaparilla? And you come and you say that you want rides? Are 6 scorpion wheels? Nah, that's gonna cost you. And y'all will get one event in the group rewrite pool, as I will not be offering in
Okay.
contemplation of the situation.
I could I walk in and try to salvage the situation?
Totally.
Try.
Yeah.
Whoa, there's no need to get things too hostile here. We can all be friends. I've recently learned a lot about what it means to be friends. You see, and I like place a hand on his shoulder. I once served the Scorpion King myself, but I learned that true companions can make all the difference. I think if we look past these differences between us, we can find a brighter future. And I would like to pickpocket him.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like you put your arm on, like over the, you make physical contact over the bungee key.
Yeah, like as I'm like lowering my hand, it's like swipe.
Yeah, okay. I think this is gonna be cunning and larceny.
Okay.
100% think this is gonna be cunning and larceny. Is there anything that you can add to it in this situation?
I was gonna say dexterity, but 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can also spend points in the rewrite pool to gain additional dice on any roll.
Okay. I'm going to use my larceny trademark. It takes a former villain to know a villain.
Yeah, 100% applies. 1,000,000% to go ahead and take those bonus 2 die, and if you win, you get directorial control of the scene. How many dice are you rolling? Because I think we're looking
9.
Okay, cool. I think
Wow.
our level of 4 was still pretty solid. Let's roll with that.
8, 8, 9, 10. So 5 successes.
5 successes. Okay, so you have the option to use an additional success to like buy a stunt or add to this event in any case, but as you have succeeded and as much to my distress, you now have directorial control of the scene. Please tell me what happens.
I would like my words to accidentally resonate stronger than intended with this guy.
We also ride off into the sunset on a golf cart, the 4 of us, like hanging off at weird angles. I mean, that's up to you on that one, but
I mean, at the end,
what I really want is like I would like to like steal the keys from these guys, and then like have this guy go, you know what? You're right. Here, take the.
Yeah, so I think that is 100% the situation. I think like you give them like a good firm handshake, and like that's how you're so you're so like easily able to like get it off every one of them with none of them noticing. And I think as they realize that their key is missing, they like kind of stop and have this look of just horror on their face and go, I've been shown I can be a better man by a better man. We'll follow you to the ends of the earth. And I'm going to give y'all a resource of some lackeys. So they're just going to be kind of silently following you in the background, and if you want to involve them in a scene, then you have y'all all completely have that ability now.
Excellent.
There are 4 bike bruisers.
I have to get out of the Dr. Extraordinary mindset because my immediate response is, "Ooh, I've got minions to sacrifice."
You can go with it.
That was a short-term goal, right? Get some minions.
Send them into the fray. Do something cool on the side while they're getting blown up.
Yeah, so like if there was a thing that you forgot in a place, like that's how it comes back is through the minions or anything like that.
Okay.
Cool.
So I think, yeah, what is each of you please describe your, like the front end is super detailed, like the vehicle itself would be, but the engine and everything behind it is just a cart. So it's kind of just to have you sitting down in something that will move, but it's definitely not the full car. So go ahead and explain what the apparent your car looks like for me.
So
Sharing the same one? We each have one.
There were 4, and they were each aligned with your
Got it.
particular color scheme.
Got it. Cool.
So mine, I would like to think that it's still kind of, because these were the Scorp Squad's rides, right?
They were, yes, but like the Scorp Squad had the keys for them, but you notice that the Scorp Squad still has their own modes of transportation, even though you stole these keys.
Well, I would like to think it has like a scorpion head on the like front of the cart,
Mhm.
and Z just out of somewhere pulls out holographic stickers or like sticky paper
Mhm.
and just like puts like streaks of hollow on the scorpions, and then the rest of it's just decked out in hollow.
Sure thing.
Mine is, of course, the killer whale with the gaudy neon red where the white would be and the black where the rest would be. So, like, just nobody really thought what a red killer whale would look like. And when they did it, it was too late to go back. And I'd like to imagine there is a scorpion stinger on the back of the cart because like they added some little bit to it. Like, look at it, kick it off.
Hell yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. It's great.
Mine is quite simple. Picture a PT Cruiser, but green and a turtle, but also with a rocket booster on the back. That's what
Extremely simple. I like the minimalist approach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
PT Cruisers, those are hot right now.
So hot right
They keep overheating.
Get out of my head, you bastard. It's you. What does your vehicle look like?
Oh, I think the parts that I kick off are like 2 little pincers that got added to the front. I just knock those off. You see me coming out from having tried to hotwire this, not know before having successfully stolen those keys. That's how I was gonna try and get it. And I think it's got like a horse's mane kind of on the hood, and then almost like spoilers on the rear part of the cart for what the Pegasus wings would be.
Nice. Yeah, just a placeholder for the green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. 100%. So you all take off, and
you said the crap. I said in chat that I pictured these goons as the tunnel snakes from Fallout 3, and now that's all I want to call them. These Scorp Squad guys. You said that this crew's got their own transportation.
Yeah, they have what appear to be like, I mean they're like segways that have been painted green. So who knows what they're going to look like at the end of the day, but they have a thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if one of them wants to ride with me just so I can like study. Assuming they've got like extra shit added onto them to be like future Scorpion people. I'd like to offer one of them a seat so I could also like study that.
Does their crew have a name? Does their crew have a name?
Yeah, they were.
Sorry, I just couldn't remember what you said.
They were the. Arachnophines.
Got it. I love that so much. Thank you. I just needed that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you have the goons that you have are the arachnofiends. And yeah, so why? Yeah, conveniently, one of them uh, uh, Jimmy Clamps has a giant like scorpion claw over one hand. Um, his Segway is conveniently not working. So he is more than happy to get in the cart with you. Is there anything that you would like to study like on the way?
I mean, I think I would try and study the clamps. I'm trying to like figure out how their anatomy has been like weaponized in the future, and like what parts I can take and what would be useful.
Okay, I think that would be technology and probably either intellect or cunning. I'm leaning intellect.
Yeah, I'd like intellect. I have all of the points in intellect.
Okay.
Don't suppose this could be medicine.
Are you seeing the technology or how it is like what they had to do to be able to,
I probably need to understand the technology before I try and figure out how to apply it to a person. So yeah, technology.
What we can do. This is actually a perfect spot to introduce a short-term goal. So we could have a short-term goal of understand this weird thing. And so if at the end of the episode we feel like we've achieved the short-term goal, then we'll award XP.
Cool. So I got 1 in technology and I've got 5 in intellect.
Okay. Cool. I believe he is friendly to you, so this is just going to be 2 successes for the threshold.
Would think of the power fall under here too?
So you can only use that once.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Once per filming.
Got it. Ooh, that's better than last time. Oh, you say 10, but that's really just a 1. Two successes.
Fantastic. 2 is exactly how much you needed. So you don't really get anything extra from it, but yeah, you're able to understand the technology is like cytochitin. Cyberchitin. Yeah, cyberchitin. There we go. Not cytochitin. No, that just sounds I'm writing a Dread Necromancer thing right now, and cytochitin is a thing that I need to remember for reasons because that's a cool phrase.
Yeah, it is good.
It is wonderful. Yeah, it is cyberchitin and requires not that much like work, and you don't fully know the process, but it seems pretty easily integrated.
Okay. Got it. Good to know.
Yeah, and so as Wyatt is studying, where is the group heading? Like driving their carts.
To the beam of light in the air, right?
I mean,
there is conveniently like large signs painted with like arrows saying lab.
I think we need to have a Mario Kart montage in our carts where we race around town.
So this is all pretty contained. So like this is all taking place inside the convention center. There is actually a cinematic tool though that is montage. If that is the thing that anyone would be interested in using or looking into.
We don't need to do it. Either we should go to like some sort of HQ that we have, or let's just storm the doors and save time.
Yeah, so essentially, do we need to make a pit stop before going there?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. So is there a thing that y'all think that you would need before you before you make your way over to the final area, as it were, or as you understand it to be, and or do you feel ready to take the task as you are?
I think we're ready.
I'm ready. I've
You
got
ready?
it.
Actually, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I have the voice of reason as one of my tropes. So it
Mhm.
might behoove us, because we gain an extra die if we come up, or if I come up with a plan and we follow through with
Mhm.
said plan.
And I think I was actually gonna say, like, Z, we need to figure out where the timelines split and create this dark timeline. What do you know about that? Do you know about anything that's important to Scorpion Demo now? Because we might want to figure that out first, so we know how to fight them. Because without an answer, we'll only have a lot of questions.
Yes,
And
that is a
That was
good point.
that was actually one of my quips too.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, can you give us the quip again now that we're aware of it?
Without an answer, we only have lots of questions.
Okay. Cool. So, what was that typo?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you meant yes. Oh, okay.
I definitely very. Sorry.
All right. So, what is the verdict on the quip?
I would say yes, because it fit in so seamlessly that it's not like the ones that you hear that stick out and you just groan like that.
Oh,
I
that's
could-
gonna be the one I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, fine.
Yeah, I had one that was just casual conversation and one that's like, I don't know how I'm gonna say this.
I think it's good because I didn't. Yeah, same
I didn't even
answer.
notice
Theater
until
nerd.
you said something.
Yeah, same answer.
I'm gonna give you a.
All right. I think with a 2.5,
2.5.
Could
that'll
not
do it.
round up.
And we'll award those 2 points to the rewrite pool.
We're at 7 now.
It's gonna be an for me, dog.
You know what? I appreciate the honesty, typo.
I'm glad that I'm not the only.
That's what a professional actor does. They give an honest critique.
It just wants to put you down. Don't listen.
I'm just glad that the American Idol reference was intended there instead of just in my head.
I'm glad.
So
Cool.
I think we should make a pit stop. Z says. I think we should meet. I have an extensive file on the Daimyo Scorpion from the future, and we should probably look over it before we try to take him up head on.
This is very valuable information. You will come in handy indeed.
And so the camera is gonna, and we're gonna see everybody inside of a nearby room that conveniently has like a large gaming table set up. That obviously was there, but there is no miniatures, no dice or anything around. It looks just like a convenient piece of prop, set up with all of the files laid out from the Daimyo Scorpion. What
I'm just
what
looking
is what's
at
there?
the wording of. Okay. So, see, this thing happens very in the not too distant future. He manages to gather power from the portal that's in the place, the beacon, the lab. So we need to get the power before he does. Or the power source. It should look like a glowing purple battery, and they'll pull up a picture of it on their future tablet.
Yeah. And I think alongside that is the container that will hold this and safely lock it away. I think the image maybe is outside of that, a
Right.
circle and a line through it.
It could be very dangerous if you don't handle it properly. So if you could distract him, and I'll go after it, sound good?
That sounds reasonable to wait. I like look at a piece of paper and like I pick it up. My eyes go wide, staring at the paper. Oh, it sounds reasonable to me. And he like stuffs the paper in his pocket.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna say, if by distract you mean purge from this world, then that is what I'll do.
So I'm not sure of the outcome of this, if we're going to have a timeline collapse and go into alternate universe theory, blah, 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 fast forward through this part of the film. But just be careful. Okay, thanks.
What happens? We don't know what's going to happen to your future.
Well,
There's definitely a whiteboard with like lots of different like just branching bullshit drawn on it.
Well, you're the nerd character. Shouldn't you know that?
It's all only theories right now.
There's
I would need some more time to test and study.
well, we don't have time.
There's some fourth
Pulls out like a
Right.
beaker and starts spinning it for some reason.
I am going to give y'all one group rewrite point because that was fucking fantastic. So I'm just gonna just go ahead and just hand that one over to y'all. That was the good stuff.
So, are there any enemies for me to shoot? Because I would like to do that.
I'm sure there's more of the Scorp squad, Alpha squad will probably be there.
Excellent.
The stingers.
So yeah, I think as the plan has now drawn, as this planning scene has drawn to an end. So important thing to note that y'all get +1 dice on your next roll, regardless of whether we actually follow that plan or not. It's just, it pays to have a voice of reason, but the best laid plans do often go awry. So whatever you do, you will get the extra die just because you listened to the voice of reason, as we should all do.
Can
And-
I spend one of those tokens, by the way, now? Because we got a couple, right?
Like
Got
eight
a,
or
y'all got
nine.
a few,
I think we're
yeah.
up to 8 now. Is my count.
Hey,
We're at 8?
yep.
Okay. I'm going to spend one of those tokens, and I'm going to say, as we like walk out of the planning room, we see the gang of these 4 guys, our 4 little followers, have taken the detached parts of the Scorpion that we took off of all of our carts and assembled them onto another Gulf cart to make some sort of like super Scorpion transformer.
Yes. Yes. Are they the ones that are driving it, or was one of y'all?
Oh, they're absolutely the ones that are driving it.
Okay, yeah. So they have got a. I think 3 of them are in there and like hanging off the sides, like Borderlands bandit style. Yeah, just like getting real hyped.
What's going on out here?
Bunch of drunk frat bros at the golf course, Excellent.
Hey boss, we built a thing. Now we can keep up with you in combat and be more useful.
That is quite impressive.
Truly, I didn't expect my words to have such power. Perhaps
You changed
there
my
is hope
life.
for me after all.
You will have to let me borrow that and do some donuts later after we finish purging the land of evil.
I don't know. I don't know if the mechanical stability of that vehicle can match ours.
Okay, so I think
Pushes up
everybody.
glasses.
I'm glad we're killing theater nerd.
It's good.
So cliche.
I think everybody is piling in, and Leland, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the Scorpion, one of the arachnophines is driving your vehicle, and you're like on the roof, just like trying to get the perfect shot as y'all approach. Am I correct in this assumption?
That sounds good. Sounds good to me. We'll say it's got a spoiler on the top of it for some dumbass reason, and that's good. Help me have good footing.
Oh hell yeah, 100%. It's got a little windbreaker on it, yeah. And you are all
Can I say something?
Totally.
Z pulls out their sword and turns it into a lance, and is going to prepare to joust anything that comes in our way to try to prevent us from passing.
Okay. Cool. So I think,
Just so you know.
as we are montaging the trip to there, I think we'll get one scene in their one role for how each person is driving and what they're doing while they drive, and then we'll arrive at the destination of our final scene. So as we're filming this like quick cut montage, so Theater Nerd, you said you wanted to do like some jousting stuff
Yes.
as you were driving along, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I think that particular skill is going to be driver thing. Pilot is though. I think that particular one would be pilot, and dexterity would be my guess.
Okay, here goes nothing.
So we're gonna say this is a 2 difficulty threshold.
Woohoo! I got 2. I got an 8 and a 9.
Fantastic. Cool.
Thank goodness, because I also rolled a 1.
Ooh, that would have been rough. Great character building moment. So, yeah, you kind of run through and describe to me how this scene of you jousting stray Scorp Squad members in vehicles. How does that look?
So, somehow, this cart goes faster than all the rest of the carts and picks up speed somehow.
Mhm.
I'm assuming we're flooring it, but somehow there's like
It's a drafting thing,
Yeah.
air currents.
Yeah. Science nerd can explain. And it's almost like they're made out of hay, and the cart just keeps going and like takes like 4 or 5 with them.
Okay. Heck yeah. I'm all about that. And that is a fantastic, like, quick little shot of you angling and sending them all out. And yeah, who does the camera fall on next?
Maybe I've got I'm laying like a prone position on the top of the car and drawing my bow.
Whatever feels right. However you want to do it, and like the physics are going to work in your favor.
Yeah,
You
no,
designed
I'm
the car for
laying
this.
prone and drawing it sideways.
Oh hell yeah!
And then I'm just gonna start lighting the place up with flashbang arrows.
Okay, cool. So a different shot than you were using last time.
Yeah, we could say maybe I just have some explosive arrows and some normal arrows. I'm grabbing normal arrows. They still summon the light arrows with the flashbangs, but they themselves don't explode.
Okay.
I got two slots on my turtle shell that I pull arrows from.
Hey, if you've got 2 slots now, then that just means that the next model can have 3. It's all good if it needs to change. Yeah, you send out several flashbang arrows, and there's kind of this. We get an aerial shot as there's just flash, 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 flash throughout this kind of simulated terrain that you're all driving towards. Definitely not actually in this hallway that you are driving your golf carts down, but this is very much a scene done in post. But it's definitely there, and it is going to look cool. Why don't you roll for it, and we're going to see how what the consequences are. That is going to be aim, and I actually think that since you are on the hood of a car, I think this is either going to be. I think this might actually be composure. Aim and composure.
All right.
I don't know. Does that feel wrong to you?
No, it's fine by me.
Okay.
Gotta keep my cool. So, a high-speed motor vehicle race, I don't want to fall off and die, So, we can only use our trademarks once per movie?
Yes. Once
Okay.
per film, yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm going to roll my dice then. And, okay, so actually, difficulties don't change in this game. No, 2 successes.
Successes. Okay, I think that'll do it. I think we'll get the cool shot of you bouncing around. I don't think you have any extra successes to spend in that situation. But yeah, it looks pretty bitchin'. Looks real cool. Looks real nice, my dude. Real nice. Who does the camera fall onto next?
I think my Cliff's idea for getting through this is he's calculated. He's like looking out at the like fake terrain, and just seeing like breaking it down into basic shapes and like, okay, right triangles. If I use this as a ramp, like what speed do I need to get to meet the hypotenuse of some bullshit? To essentially like, he's essentially plotting out a path where he avoids the most enemies as possible and like by like jumping off the terrain. I think.
Algorithms.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it. What that sounds like cunning and pilot to me, just like off the top of my head, but I could see dexterity. No.
I definitely think pilot. I feel like the attribute could like jump between a couple of them. So whichever you'd like.
I could see composure or cunning would be the two that I would want you to pick from.
I've got the same for both of them.
I hope
so.
It's
why don't we
one.
do cunning? It is 3 actually.
Oh shit! Okay.
I only have 1 in pilot though, so this is only going to be
okay.
4 dice. Yeah, like I think I said in chat earlier,
Or-
I should have put more in pilot when I decided to give my character
This
wings.
could also work for enigmas if you think that makes more sense, because this is you trying to do a mathematical like equation and trigonometry and stuff on the fly.
I've actually got the same in both pilot and enigma.
Real shit, Pat.
Okay. Ooh, no. Let's see. I see a 1 in there. I got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Oh.
Oh
So
no!
this is a botch. Oh, fantastic. What a delightful storytelling moment this is.
I'm excited.
So you first of all you get 2 points in the rewrite pool. So congratulations.
And then
Um
just for record keeping, Typo spent 1, right?
Mhm.
Cool.
and you try to like ramp off of this trolley that's been left there, and I think that you are going to take I think you're going to take 4 points of damage.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know if that's a lot. It sounds like a lot.
So that's going to completely fill up your It's a Flesh Wound, and take you down into That'll Leave a Scar. So once It's a Flesh Wound is full up, any skills that are related to your archetype, which is the scientist, will take an additional dice in that point.
As in, I roll an additional dice?
And then you will get an additional dice because you're hurt, and so everything you do is a little bit more dramatic now.
How is this damage happening?
So I think the cart like flips and overturns, and it just like as it's in midair, I think we cut to like a scene of a different color scheme of the Arachnophane sitting on the roof with like a stereotypical looking bazooka, and we see that a missile is fired and it hits. In reality, like, you know, it just didn't go super well, and like somebody threw a sandbag. But the camera is going to show the missile hitting it mid-air as it's like halfway through a flip, and it's going to explode and throw Pat to the ground.
There's a clip of me going like, ah, and it's obviously just like rotated in post.
Yeah.
Seeing his friend in danger, he is going to look like he's going to see like the guy like reloading the bazooka, ready to shoot again.
Yes.
And Aiden will turn towards the our goons and their little scorpion bot, and he'll go, I've got an idea. He like jumps out of his vehicle onto the Scorpio bot, and then looks towards the tail. I need you to. Does this hunk of metal work?
Yeah, it does. Are you gonna save the day, boss?
I need you to fling me at that with the tail. And he's going to like hop onto the tail and like get like crouched down, ready to go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And like he lowers his head briefly and says, I have to admit, I don't know much about science or friendship, but I'm willing to learn. And he is going to launch. And that was a quip.
Of course it was. Yep. Of course it was.
What was the what?
I don't know much about science or friendship, but I'm willing to learn.
That's so perfect.
So good. So good. It was wonderful. Standing ovation. Standing ovation.
Thank you.
So go ahead and take a executive decision. Go ahead and take the 2 points, the rewrite pool. I will be a tyrannical dictator, a tyrannical director on that one. Which does actually have rules for in the game.
You set that up perfectly.
It was fantastic.
I got these guys and I was immediately like, I know what I'm going to use this for.
Yeah, and the camera cuts like all their faces doing this, and like, you know, manly tears like in the corners of their mask, and you are flung in up to this thing. So
I'm assuming athletics. I'm going to try to time the jump at like the peak to get the max, like, you know, oomph. But
I think
to you, that's might or dexterity.
Athletics and presence.
Athletics and presence. Okay.
Athletics and presence, or athletics and manipulation.
Could I do manipulation?
You could do manipulation, yeah.
Okay.
Because this was like, because there's so much that you can do, but so much of it was impacted by what they did, by what you said to them.
Fair. That's 7. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this is risky, so this is gonna be 3 successes needed on this one, and there are still points available from the rewrite pool.
How much does points does the rewrite pool give?
1 point is one dice.
I will burn a point to get 8 dice.
Do it.
Okay.
So that is 3 successes.
3 successes. Fuck yes. Describe it. How does it look? You are flung from the cart.
Okay. The machine like whirs to life, and then like the camera is like, zzz, and like the speed lines and everything as this catapults me up into the air. He leaps off at the very peak, flying, sailing higher and higher, and he lands about like 5 feet in front of the vehicle because like he's still human and he can only jump so far actually. And then he's like jogs over, climbs up to like the top of the fucking building, and it goes then flips into the camera scene so that in the movie you see and then him landing.
And how do you dispatch this person? Like you have done such dramatics to get here. They're at your whim.
I will proceed to drop kick this man.
Okay. And,
off the building and onto the tarp behind.
All right, and we drop. We see the very much a Wilhelm scream moment as they fall like flailing into a swimming pool below. Right? Yeah, and I think with the moment, like you're able to bounce back off, and due to the miracle of like cinematic timing and everything, and how far and how fast you were flung from the scorpion tail, I think you land squarely on the hood of your own
Yeah. He like
and the
stands up, back turned still, and like his like cape, like little scarf is like flowing in the wind because of course.
because it's that moment you need it.
Hmm.
And the scorpion mobile with the arachnophanes is gonna like stop by and scoop. Um, I've forgotten why its character's name.
Cliff.
Cliff has a
Or
little.
I imagine in full nerd mode he's called Clifford quite a bit.
Aww.
I believe this is the second game that you had a PC named Cliff that I've run for you.
It,
I think it was after. I think Cliff was in Afterlife too, but
I don't remember.
I think Cliff was in Afterlife. I'm gonna have to check on that. It's like that sounds too familiar. And yeah, I think the arachnophanes pick you up, and the next shot is like everyone squealing and like doing donuts in front of this like brightly lit lab.
I think as I'm crawling out of the car, I'm definitely, thanks, Aiden. We can always count on you. For sure.
He gives a shy moment of sure thing, friend.
It's a word I'm uncomfortable to say, but glad I have it.
I'm much more comfortable saying "pow."
My bosom chum. Yeah, so everyone is out of the car now, and we're in front of the door to this laboratory.
Kick it open.
Definitely just a trailer, slightly like past a pair of doors.
I kick it open and I pull 2 daggers out of my shell. Spin them around. I'm going hand-to-hand combat mode now. So, but I'm also kicking down doors. So whenever you want that to happen, that's happening.
Fantastic. Yeah, what's everybody else up to?
Guess I'm going to just follow behind.
Yeah, if he's kicking down the doors, I'm ready to go for the power cell.
Yeah, I'm kicking down the door for whomever wants to lead the way. I'm support.
All right, so I think the two of you like simultaneously kick the like adjacent door, and both of the doors swing open off the hinges, denting the walls with your super Kneon Knight strength, and there is a glowing power cell that looks exactly like what Z described would be the thing that you had to secure and get into this holding device. And as you move in, you hear from the corner, "I knew you would come. It is time to meet your fate." And the scorpion, the daimyo scorpion, walks out and like throws their hands down, and there's like pyrotechnics, and suddenly they're surrounded by like 2 giant like mechanical scorpions with too many legs and like maybe a sword coming out here or there. And the arachnophines that you have go, "Don't worry, boss. We'll take care of those ugly things. Y'all take care of the big guy." And
You're quite the loyal follower.
So he is going to head immediately to the power cell. And I'm going to say that there's not there is magically a containment device that's there as using my special cash. I feel like that would be appropriate.
Definitely, yeah.
And then I'm assuming this is athletics and like either dexterity or stamina to sprint.
I think yes, but I think what I'm going to need you to roll instead is going to be a dexterity and a. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do athletics and dexterity. I think you're right. And this is going to be a difficult roll because of other things that are happening at the same time. So we're looking at 5 successes.
Okay. Rolled 2 ones, but I rolled a 10 and a 9.
Okay, so that is a failure, but not a botch. So, you can, let's make this grisly. I'm going to give y'all 1 point in the rider pool because I will not offer a concession on this. The daimyo scorpion slings his arm, and one of the scorpion tails on the back follows suit, and a rocket stinger is sent out, and as you are sprinting to it, collides and like bashes you in the side. You're going to take 2 points of harm, and you are knocked to the other side of the room, so you'll have to like get up and make it back over to the containment unit. Because it has flung you across the danged old room. The wall was definitely softer than it should have been, but like, you did just get thrown. It's a lot.
I definitely sell it. It's fine.
Cool.
I would like to try to catch them actually.
Okay. Cool. How are you thinking to do that?
This is part in character, part out of character for the. This is weird. There's 3 levels. On one hand, he is genuinely trying to help out the actor. On the other hand, he is also in character doing this. So he is going to try to run over and just like scoop up as like they're launched back.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll your relationship die towards them?
Okay. So does that mean just roll a number of dice equal to my relationship?
Yes.
That is a 4 and a 2.
4 and a 2. Okay, cool. So I think that if you're willing to put yourself in that situation with them, then it will reduce their harm by 1. But you will have to like actively be on the far side of the room with them for that to be the case.
Okay. I'll take that hit. Yeah.
So you do not take 2 harm, you instead take 1. There is a
Are you all right?
Never been better. Go run over there and distract them.
I'll do my best.
I've got an idea. These our reformed Scorp Squad members are fighting some giant scorpions, you said? Like giant mech scorpions?
Yes.
I'd like to, if I can't, I'd like to try and jump onto one of the mech scorpions and see if I can't, like, turn one of its cannons at the containment device.
No, you don't.
Okay, I will...
Or towards the power source or whatever.
I will remind you that you know, I mean, that might destroy the power device, so that could be bad. But it'll create a timeline. There's not necessarily a bad ending. We are filming a film, and how it ends is how it ends.
I was going to say we don't want them to have that.
Or the next movie will be in game, and nobody wants that for the middle of a 3-parter. Yeah, so you can't do that. You can like try to like send it flying or try to destroy it entirely. you also have an electric like key fob that you picked up in the first scene. I don't know if you have
Oh,
any
yeah.
tropes or anything that have anything to do with that.
I do. So, I have a trope that I was going to try with this mech scorpion, but would probably fit with that too, called Weird Science.
You can choose whichever way you want to run it. Both of them sound super apt.
What does the key fob? So it just looks like a key fob with a scorpion
It
tail.
looks like a key fob with a scorpion tail.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna try and make that work. I guess. Like,
Okay.
click,
So
click,
that is-
click. Go work. Do whatever you do.
That is going to be either intelligence or cunning and technology.
Okay, I will for sure take intelligence, and then technology, and then with weird science, you aren't even sure what it does. Roll one extra die on actions when you are using an alien device, even when you lack any familiarity with it.
Oh yeah,
So that's 1, 2,
you definitely have no familiarity with this.
and then. Okay, so that's 7 dice. What's the? Do I know what my target is?
I think because you've got the key fob, it's a little bit easier than it normally would be. So I think it's going to be 3.
Okay. If it's cool with everyone, I'm going to take 1 extra dice for the pool, too. So I think that takes the pool to 10.
Go ahead.
Sounds good to me.
We've already learned you cannot succeed with 11 dice.
Exactly.
Yep.
Ooh, it's not looking great.
Uh-oh.
It's not great. There's no ones, but I
Good.
only got 1 success out of 8 dice.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I think with only 1 success, as you slap the key fob down, like a mechanical grate like closes over your hand, and you feel like the metal starting to form around into something, but you are completely held in place, and it is probably fucking terrifying. So you're not going to take any harm. But you are going to take a penalty on your roll next turn because you are freaking the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if you would like to try to control it or something, it definitely responded to the key fob, and y'all will get that one point back because you did fail the roll.
Oh, okay. We get that.
The rewrite goes back up to 11. It did respond. It just is responding more slowly.
One of the giant spider mechs responded.
One of the giant scorpion mechs is now your hand is
Yes,
closed on top of it. Yeah.
Got my arachnids mixed up.
Sure. Anybody want to take the next move, or has everybody?
I have
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I have not gone yet. Anybody have any ideas for something I can do to assist them?
The goal that
yeah.
you all discussed was to not let this person get the power cell.
Okay.
So wherever will achieve that.
If you can so I put myself at the opposite end of the room. If you can get me over to the bad guy, that'd probably be helpful with something.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pull out my ocarina.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go doo-doo-doo, and try and summon my and try and see if my giant robot turtle will show up. Because I'm not sure. It's worth
You
a shot.
try, and nothing seems to happen.
Son of a bitch. Broken. All right. Well, that didn't work, did it?
I think the camera briefly cuts away to the face of your Zord, or not Zord. Your the of your what is going to be an action figure, like distorted and howling in pain. And I think that's going to be the only image that we get.
Oh no, that's sad. Hey, good scene. Totally worth it. So I'm gonna put that away, and then I'm going to say, Follow right behind me. I'll clear the way for you.
Okay. Sure thing.
All right. So what are you going to do to try to clear the way? Because that other bit was just a narrative device. That wasn't
Of
a role.
course. Hold on, I have a. I'm gonna say it's my destiny to, because my whole like character's ambition is to purge the land of evil. I'm gonna say it's my destiny
Mhm.
to prevent this from happening.
Okay, and this is
Such an epic moment. You know what I mean?
yeah. So this is a trademark.
Yeah, I want to use the trademark. It's my destiny, and I just want to run. I just want to go in like freaking Riddick, you know, just dual wielding knives, like just like when Riddick goes into his crazy, like I can't remember what it's called, but he goes into like Super Saiyan Riddick mode. I don't know if you ever watched Chronicles of Riddick, but yeah, I go into that basically, and I just like my suit powers up, and I just like maybe it's just all in the suit, I don't know, and then I'm just like turned into Terminator but with knives.
I think that's going to be dexterity plus close combat with your +2 from It's My Destiny.
Yeah, and I'm like flipping and rolling and pouncing and sticking both knives in, pulling them out, cutting throats, blah blah blah, flipping over, all that good stuff.
Let's see. Why don't you check those dice out for me?
Well, we'll see. Well, that's what it looks like in my head and what it's scripted as. But
also,
we'll see.
I should point out there is only the Daimyo Scorpion and then 2 Scorpions in here.
Got it. Okay, well, I'm taking out those Scorpions then.
Okay. I'm assuming you're not going for the one that Patrick is currently engaged with, right?
No, I'm going for the other one then. I'm just
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll flavor this as like an attack on both the Scorpion and the Daimyo, so it'll give you a little bit more like chance to show off athletics and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, we'll say now that I know that, I hop onto the Scorpion, deliver a flurry of blows, and then do like a cartwheel off of its tail towards the Daimyo.
Okay, cool. So that's going to be still the same roll. It's going to be 5 successes, though, as the threshold.
Toot. Yeah, well, cool. I got 2 instead. So
okay,
screw you and your number of 5.
All right. And I think that maybe, I think that as you do that, the Daimyo Scorpion kind of picks you up and throws you, and as they throw you, they knock the crystal from where it was being placed, and they reach out and go, no, and the crystal kind of clinks to the ground. And I would like for everyone to make a real quick dexterity check for me. Just roll however many dice you have in dexterity. Or actually, let's do this a different way. However many dice you have in your highest finesse stat.
Okay.
Dexterity. So 0 successes.
Okay.
No skill attached.
3 successes.
3 successes.
Nice.
I have 1.
1 success.
1.
1. Okay. Well, that means that it is typo in the camera. We see the gem skittering across. We see it being flung from Kyle. From Kyle's back when Kyle hits it.
Bobby Marks is my character's name.
Bobby. When Bobby hits it and sends it flying, we see it hit the floor right in front of Z, and Z reaches out to try to grab it, and it skitters away into the feet of the Scorpion that Pat is on top of, trying to like manipulate and control, and the Scorpion claw reaches down clumsily, and instead of grabbing, pinches it between its 2 claws and sends it flying straight at Blaze. How do you end the scene? Do you capture it? Do you destroy it? Do you dodge it entirely and take out the distracted Lord, the Daimyo Scorpion? How does this scene end?
The thing spirals across the ground and then lands against a boot. The camera pans up and it's Blaze's foot. He picks up the gem, stares the scorpion, Dynamo Scorpion, in the eye. Well, it seems it's just you and me now. He like pitches the gem over his shoulder towards Z. Does Z catch? Yeah. So Z catches it. You finish what we started. He like takes his pole arm, spirals it. I've got this. I've got him handled. And he will charge the Daimyo Scorpion, and he's going to take the he's going to slash once, and then he's going to take his weapon, break it into two, and he's going to continue slashing and like continue dancing around in this crazy complex maneuver, showering sparks everywhere, and the whole while he's saying, I read the report. You said you were my father, but the truth is you killed my father. How could you, Scorpion King? I mean, Daimyo Scorpion, for that! He like locks the two together. The missile launcher, which he hasn't really used up till now, twists at an angle, and he is going to like quickly rush by the Daimyo Scorpion and swing as hard as he can, as fast as he can, spiraling to slam it into this Daimyo Scorpion with an explosion of fireworks, and I am using my one ability to make that an automatic success. You know the one, GM.
I do. Yeah, it is that one, isn't it? Okay. So 100%. It is 100% a success. And in this explosion, we see like Z over like trying to like get it in the container and lock it into place, and we do, and we see like a bright light from the center of the smoke cloud. And then we hear the sound of metal hitting the ground, hitting the hard floor. And as the smoke clears, everyone looks over to see Blaze lying still on the ground, smoldering. And in the distance we hear, not today, Kneon Knights. I still win. And the camera's gonna pull out as everyone rushes in to check on Blaze. And I think that's where the credits are gonna roll. Chumbawamba doing some kind of really dramatic song to close it out. Like
maybe it's like a slow, dramatic, like indie rock cover that they decided to do of their own song. The You Get Knocked Down song.
Tub thumping.
I don't care what it's called. I can't even, I'm not ever gonna repeat it.
Up again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a slow, mournful version.
Yes.
For anyone wondering what my ability was, it was called Wharf Effect. I get to be cool and then get my ass handed to me.
That's cool. I like that. What were you saying, Theater Nerd?
Oh, I mean, that's a pretty fitting song based on what we just heard.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. I know. It was great. And we picked Chumbawamba before that happened. We're prophets.
Or Chumbawamba is prophets. Or prophets.
Maybe that. Yeah, they wrote the song. Ooh, I'm gonna get my tarot done by Chumbawamba.
So, what we're gonna do real quick is we are all going to roll a d20 as the credits roll, and we get like one final cutaway scene of each of our characters.
Was not prepared.
I'll have D10s out. You're killing me with this D20, man. Listen, I got one. You're good.
I said you were only going to need D10s, and then I was like, this is going to be a fun way to end it.
It's big enough, you think?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
It's my tiny dice. Ooh, it's so little. I got a 7.
I think we will do that as promo stuff between the weeks. I think that is actually a better use for it. What'd you get,
Oh.
Leland?
Oh, I got a 7.
A 7. Cool thing.
Also, just for everyone else, because I use that ability, everybody gets a their relationship die added to my relationship die with them added to their next roll.
Yeah. So I think that'll come into effect.
We can talk about that after we.
Yeah, I think that we can integrate that into be like a flashback scene to give everyone in the next movie will get a flashback scene of their reaction to you doing that, and that'll give them the bonus die.
That's cool.
So we got a 7, a 14,
12 on my
12,
end.
8.
and an 8. So that is a 20, 21. All right, and we are looking at a wild and wonderful 49% review from the critics as this movie debuts, and we get some pretty rave things going on. What is the final moment that your character gets on camera for this film? And that'll be where we wrap up. It doesn't necessarily have to be this scene. It can be like days, weeks in the future.
Okay, my character, my character, I assume, not my actor. Okay, my character his last scene is a training montage, and he is listening to a cover of a Judas Priest song, because covers are cheaper to license for films. And it's called Touch of Evil. And I don't know if you've ever heard it, it's a good one. And he's just basically listening to Touch of Evil by Judas Priest, doing a training montage, slicing a wooden dummy with his daggers.
Hell yeah. Theater nerd, what have you got?
I think we see Z, if Typo's okay with this, Z at like the bedside in the hospital of Aiden Blaze, because Aiden Blaze was supposed to have this, important part in their plans for the future. And yeah, there's probably some tears.
Okay. So I think that makes sense for us to hit Aiden Blaze last.
I think it actually goes to Cliff.
Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah.
we cut to Cliff in his lab, and he's got like images of the what do we call it? The cyber chitin. He's like studying that, and he's like pulling up different diagrams. And you cut to that he's used some of the cyber chitin, infused that to Aiden Blaze to help with his recovery and patch up some of his wounds.
Oh fuck yeah.
The camera pans down, you can see
We can't.
some of the chitin replacing parts beneath the sheets, and then the camera slowly crawls back up, and it's just that's all for me.
And I think it's with that the credits stop rolling, the screen, everything darkens. Pretty solid applause all around, and as everyone leaves the theater, and the screen flickers back to life, and we see Mack Ryder in a high-backed leather chair stroking a tegu, some unknown origin, going, "Sure, they escaped today," and looks at just a bajillion-dollar box office check. But I still win. Next time, Kneon Knights, you won't be so lucky. And there's an abrupt cut to black as the film wraps up. So thank y'all so much for hanging around and watching the first our first movie, Kneon Knights Reunknighted. It was an absolutely wonderful time to DM, and to direct, and I'm going to pass control back over to the good sir Tactric.
Yeah. If it's cool with everybody, why don't we go around, do outros, and if folks want to say like their favorite moment from the first movie, why don't we do that? Who wants to start? Anybody?
I can't. Hi, I'm Nash, also known as Theater Nerd. You can find me at all the places at Theater Nerd 221. If you see someone with that username, chances are very likely it's me, because I have yet to find a social media site that doesn't let me have the username. And no, that's not a challenge. Because I like it, and it's consistent branding on all the platforms. Anyway, distracted and tired. I really liked Aiden Blazes going down in a blaze of glory. That was not how I expected it to end, but it was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I'll go if you want us to just.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
All right. I am Leland / Leopold the Just. You can find me at Leopold the Just on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I mostly just post memes, but I post a lot about cool Kickstarters for companies I work for too, and other stuff. I don't know. Anyway, just go and check it out. I'm a social media consultant for various tabletop RPG companies and stuff, and right now, one of the Kickstarters that I'm working on is called Ultimate Dungeon Showdown. Go and check it out if you've ever seen any of the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment or Dead Gentleman films or series like Journey Quest, Dark Dungeons, Gamers Darkness Rising, Gamers Hands of Fate, that sort of thing. If you've ever seen any of that stuff, then go and check that out, because there's like all sorts of really cool stuff. They're developing a card game, a tabletop RPG, selling all sorts of cool ZOE gear and stuff. So go and check it out. And my favorite part of the session was making out with an alien at the very beginning. No, I'm just kidding. That was cool though, but that's always cool, making out with aliens. No, I definitely it's silly enough. The cell phone thing, I don't know, just the fact that all of our cell phones were just chilling on a table and they get destroyed right out of the gate. I was like, well, shit, I guess here we are. Like, they didn't tell us this was happening, and then immediately, like, I just like how people responded to just being like, well, let's put these suits on. I like how the newbie had to be the one to tell us what we needed to do. Like, we should probably put our suits on and kick ass. And I'm like, oh,
the
cool.
newbie was the only one that read the fine print.
Yeah. And as a person, I kept forgetting whether or not you or I kept forgetting which of your characters was from the future, if you actually were from the future, or if you were just playing a character that was from the future, but I figured it out by then, so we're good.
Yeah, in real life, from the future.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, I remember you mentioning the fan contest thing at the beginning. Later on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Awesome.
Yeah, I can totally go next. I have many things. I'm Zan. I'm a professional GM and content creator for a whole bunch of stuff. I absolutely adore this game. It is one of my favorite games to run, just because of how collaborative it is and how easy and light the rules are. And after you get past the grueling nightmare that is character creation, though I might have figured out why I have such a hard time with character creation.
Really?
You know, we live in
the wrong book, everybody. Let's just be real with our viewers. We're using the quick start book when we should be using the actual PDF. Anyway,
whoops! I don't like change. Just improvement.
One of them conservative gamers.
Oh God! Oh no! We nope, in that now. Yeah, no, I am Zan. You can find me on the Black Feather Guild on Tuesday nights. Not next Tuesday, because I have a super cool thing that hopefully I can share about later that is actually next Tuesday and not last Tuesday like I thought it was until a few hours beforehand. And You can also find me on the Coffee Nebula with Polished Cryptid on Tuesdays and Friday mornings. Over on my channel with Calliope on Mondays, doing a 10-week PhD kind of video compilation of testing out 10 different non-D20 based systems and how they like impact storytelling and mechanics and things like that. It's a real fun time. Next week we're doing Microscope. And yeah, I have a publication coming out here in a little bit that's going to be the Dreaded Necromancer, a revived version of 3.5's Dread Necromancer. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully I will have more things to share about that very soon. And I think that is all of my rambling. Oh, I'm here. I'm on this channel on Sundays and also next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that too.
Oh, me too.
Awesome. Typo?
Hello, I'm Typo. You can find me here for this game and at Homebrew RP. I believe this coming Friday for a Star Wars game, and various one-shots on Featherfall Tabletop and Friends Who Roll Dice. I think my favorite part was the mooks. Accidentally getting some mooks to build the Scorpion. Yeah, I like it.
Oh shit! I didn't say
Everybody needs hinge folk.
My whole favorite part, like as much fun as this session was, my whole part has just been, like even before this and now, just the world building and the bullshit that is thrown together, and I love seeing what sticks and what is what. I love the process of this game.
Also, Zan, I love your character.
oh, thank you. It's not based on anyone.
It reminds me of one of my favorite card games ever is called Grave Robbers from Outer Space. It's an older card game, and it's basically just a ton of B-movie tropes, and it'd be really fun to play it with any of you sometime, just because of how closely it kind of reminds me of this whole vibe. It's great.
Yeah. And I'm last. I'm Pat. Tactric Places Online, like this channel. Next place you can find me is probably going to be Sunday, where I'll be running our Urban Shadow 2nd Edition campaign, Ruby Tooth Bay, which Zen and Leland are both in. And then also in Standing Stones on Black Feather Guild on Tuesdays, except we are taking a break next Tuesday anyway. So we then back here next Wednesday. And my favorite part was very similar to what Zan was describing, like specifically creating the Scorpion Squad and Stingers and Daimyo Scorpion, like for the first time when we were all just brainstorming, like, okay, what does the antagonist in the goo, what do they look like? What's their deal? Yeah, and as I pause and wait for whoever to take over and then remember it's me. That's it for the night. I hope everybody had as good a time watching us as we did playing, and we'll see y'all back next week. Bye, everybody.
All right.